Shalom, shalom. Shalom, used to saying good morning on Milk in the Morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to some, good evening to good evening to others. Let me post this real quick. I'm starting the class a little bit early because of the guests that I have need to come on now. So at least one of them, my sister Jael, she needs to come on now. So I'm gonna start early so we can get her on here also. If somebody would go on to Facebook and type that the class is on now, so everybody knows that we're getting it started right now. And then I got some other guests that are gonna come in also a little bit later after my sister. Hold on, let me go on here and make sure I can make sure that she can request to be added. Let me see. Jael has not come on here yet. Cool. All right, shalom to everybody else. Hey, do me a favor, share the class. I know some of y'all like, dang, we really going in on this topic, but this is absolutely needed because our brothers and sisters are out of order. Our brothers and sisters are out of order, and that's and I'm speaking for myself all the way to y'all. You know what I'm saying? We out of order, and we need to fight to get our order, to reclaim our order, reclaim our heritage that we have discontinued from through our disobedience, through our rejecting of scriptures, through our rebellion of our way of life, the way of life that the Most High set up for us. And it's time for us to take it back. It's time for us to take it back and stop playing. So I'm going to say this as a disclaimer. Multiple wives and all that. The topic of multiple wives, I know it's kind of, I don't know what word to use, risque, kind of troubling for some of y'all because it might not be for some of y'all. It might not be for me. It might not be for you. It might not be. You know what I'm saying? That's not really the issue here. It is our culture or whatever, but the issue is submitting to God's commandments, submitting to the culture and the way of life that the Most High set up for us, that He ordained for us to be okay. Certain things He said is okay, but ain't for everybody. Other things He said ain't okay. We keep on trying to put our opinions and our all right, Moshe wants to get on real quick. We keep on trying to put our opinions in this thing, and the Most High don't care nothing about our opinions. Whether you like stuff or not, that ain't the Most High's concern. Moshe, I don't see you on. There you go. Real quick, I'm gonna let him speak while Jael is getting ready. So go ahead. All right, Moshe kicked you off. Hey, shalom. Hey. Come here and say shalom to the people real quick. Y'all be thinking that you know what I'm saying? So y'all be thinking that I might be saying this stuff and Rachel ain't nowhere around. Like my wife don't know that I'm teaching this stuff. I ain't like some of y'all. Some of y'all soft. Pathetic. She's shy though, so y'all don't mind her.
Shalom.
Yeah, that's it. Shalom. Mosh.
Hey, shalom, bro. What's going on?
Well, you come on here looking like a Sith Lord or something. Like you got the Darth.
You funny, man. It's cold over here in Dallas, man. It's cold. Shalom, everybody.
Go ahead. You said you want to say something real quick.
I just want to tell the brothers and sisters, man, for those who, have questions.
Square up your camera. You're like over to the side.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for those of you brothers and sisters who got questions about it, try it and listen. Because you're going to get a lot of people that's going to come on here. I won't say a lot, but you're going to get people that's going to come on here. And even though the information is coming out, they got a whole lot of stuff to say. And they're going to be stuck in their ways and they're going to fight against it instead of sitting in here and listening. It's no different than if you were in school. You'll sit down and you'll listen, you'll take notes, and you'll soak it all in. And then form your thoughts after that. And again, if you don't agree, just keep it moving. But this is an opportunity, man. You got three. Yeah, you good. You got three people already that's gonna be on the show. So learn from it. Take it and learn from it. So that's it, man.
Right. All praises.
All right, I'll get at you later, man, when I get home.
Do a robbery, like you got to rob a candy store.
You funny, man. I get at you when I get home.
All right, brother. Hey,
All right.
Rachel Turner said shalom.
Hey, tell us it's shalom. Shalom, shalom. I'll get at you later, bro.
All right, brother. Get on off here. All right, so yeah, with that being said, I want to address something real quick before I get the sister on. Where my sister at? Jael, where you at? I don't see you. Real quick before I get the sister on, I want to address something that a brother brought out. Ridiculous. Don't listen to these ridiculous brothers, man. These brothers is, some of these brothers is simply ridiculous. So a brother put up a post. Let me read it real quick so I don't misquote this stuff. What was the nonsense? If I can find it, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? All right, this brother right here. All right, Jael, give me 1 second. I'm about to add you on. All right, it says, this brother said, do you know that rape was allowed in the Old Testament? It sounds like one of them camps. It's a rape camp. It says, do you know that rape was allowed in the Old Testament? Yeah, if you raped an unbetrothed woman, she was to be your wife and you could not divorce her. And then he goes, does that mean that it's lawful in the New Testament? Watch the hypocrisy. I don't advocate rape. I'm proving a point. So he put Deuteronomy 22:28. We're going to read that real quick because some of y'all read that post from his brother and be like, wow, it does say that. No, it don't. Rape was never, I don't know what he's talking about. Rape in the Bible. God loved rapists. I'm going to read, watch this. This is Deuteronomy 22, and I'm going to read verse 23 on down. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city, and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he had humbled his neighbor's wife. Humbled means he slept with her. It don't mean that he grabbed her and he took her and he raped her and he jacked her up. It means he slept with her. He humbled his neighbor's wife. It says, so thou shalt put away evil from among you. Verse 25, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field and the man force her, that's rape. Force her. Come here, give me the booty. Said he force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth up against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. So raping a woman in God's eyes is like killing your brother. Say, even so, as a man rise up against his neighbor and slay him, even so is raping his married sister the same way. It's like the sin of murder. So watch this. Verse 27. For he had found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. So she cried out. So this is how you know it was rape, because she's screaming. Ah, if she ain't screaming and she's enjoying it, that ain't rape. Kill her and kill him. Now watch this. This is his scripture. He says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found. So when it says lay hold on her, it's not talking about he raped her. He laid hold on her and he had sex with her. And they were found out. It was found out that they, not somebody busted in, oh, y'all having sex. But somebody found out, man, y'all two sleeping together? Y'all had sex? It says, and they be found. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he had humbled her. Remember, humbled, we read earlier, means he laid with her. He had humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. The reason it was like that is because he went, saw the woman, they had their little sex. They didn't try to get married. They wasn't married in the beginning. The father of her wasn't involved. His father wasn't involved. They just snuck and did it. They said once they found out, you got to marry her now. You sneaking around laying with her. You humbled this sister. You marry her and do what's right. Same way our grandparents used to do. But this brother, they put that stuff up. Rape was a lie. Let's just shut up, man. Stop listening to these brothers. I'm about to call them a name, but you know how they get. They start crying. Judah man called me a name. Shut up. Stop listening to these brothers. That's why I block these brothers that ain't got no sense. That's on y'all. And some of y'all like, yeah, rape was legal back then. Shut up. Rape was like murder back then. Most I ain't play that junk. Don't listen to these brothers with that moronic understanding. So let me go and find the sister. Jael, do me a favor. Ask to be added. What you need, baby? I need some coffee. Just a little bit, though. Well, not just give me a full cup, because I'll say a little bit, then I get up and get some more. Thank you. Jael, I'm about to try to add you. It won't let me. Jael, can you ask to be added? I hope I don't have to do the thing on messenger video thing again. Jael, do me a favor. Log out, log back in. Let me see if I can get you on here. Yeah, you're right, Amir. That's why sound teaching is necessary. Trying to find how. If you log off and log back in, it might give me the option to add you. So try to do that. Nope. Okay, 1 second. All right, cool. So yeah, and this is the stuff that brothers are putting out because they don't know what they're talking about. Now they talking about, yeah, rape was legal back in the Old Testament. Does that mean that we can rape now? Huh, I got him. Yeah, I got him. Nah, you didn't get nothing, brother. Just go find something to do. And I feel sorry for the sister that's looking at this brother because apparently it's a sister looking at him. I feel sorry for her because that's what you're going to learn. When he should just be quiet and come in and sit down and learn. He got everything to say. And he ain't saying nothing. We ain't dealing with you weak brothers no more, period. So you put out a scripture, you don't know what you're talking about, I'm going to address it so other people can be edified. Trust me, it ain't for me to be edified. It's so y'all can be edified so y'all don't get duped by these brothers that are scriptural morons. And I say that hey, at one point I was a scriptural moron too. And if somebody called me that, hey, it is what it is. Let me get strong in my understanding like they should be doing. Because this stuff is ridiculous. All right, let me see. Muslims use that same tactic to say the Bible is false. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, some of these brothers, I'm going to hold my tongue. I ain't going to say it. I don't want to offend some of y'all other brothers. Some of these brothers don't know. Stuff to be coming out their mouth. Jael, there you go. Ad. All right, so I just sent you the ad. Let's see if you can come on. Just so y'all know, I'm gonna kind of let her loose and let her talk about her experience. She comes from a house of multiple marriages in her family, so she's gonna speak from experience. Did you need something?
Hey, Shalom.
Camera. We're looking at you.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to join with my computer, but it didn't work. So. Hey, Shalom.
No. All right, so telling me, I think I can hear you on the yeah, it's an echo.
Is it okay?
Do you have what? I ain't doing too much talking. I'm gonna let you talk for. I know you got to go in about 30 minutes or so, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just go ahead. Introduce yourself. Let me know what you're about to bring out.
Yes, I'm just opening some notes on my computer. So yes, Shalom. So Judah Macc and Brother Mash got me on live to give as well, I think, an opinion from the sisters and brothers and sisters. I think we all should remember that polygamy is not sinful. It is something correct in Israel.
Hold on. Wait. Your mic's now.
Let me just try and join again with my computer. Is that okay?
Okay, you gonna log off?
Yeah, because I'm trying with my computer. It would be better than with my telephone. Okay, just a minute.
That's cool. Thank you. All right, yeah, give us a minute. Little technical difficulties. We're gonna get it right though. Until then, hey, brothers and sisters, share the class. Share the class. Put your own title to it. Share the class. Let's we're gonna have to push this through. We're gonna take back our heritage, and we're gonna stop condemning brothers that ain't doing nothing wrong. This whole mocking brothers that have more than one wife, this whole mocking and all that old stuff, y'all mocking your forefathers and you're mocking the Lord when you do that. Just like that camp, IUIC, mocking brothers for getting baptized, mocking brothers and sisters because they got baptized. Y'all ain't really mocking us. Y'all mocking Christ because Christ got baptized and told us to get baptized. Y'all mocking Christ. Y'all mocking John the Baptist. Y'all mocking Peter. Y'all mocking Paul. Y'all mocking all the disciples. And ultimately, you're mocking the Most High God. So be careful with that. Be careful with that. Watch your mouth. Trust me, you ain't hurting me. Most High listening to you. All right, let me see if the sister's back on her real quick. She's trying to get her computer together. I got another brother, Jael. It won't let me add you right now. Your name popped up, but the add button didn't. I don't know what it is about your computer that it doesn't want you to be added on here. So see if you can't log off and log back on again, because it ain't doing what it's supposed to. Y'all bear with us for a second. I want to get this thing on. Let me turn that off and turn it back on. I wish I had a better venue for us to go to, but I ain't gonna be able to catch all of y'all. Yeah, there it is. All right, boom, add button, bam, there you go. Hopefully it works now, Jael. I'm adding you now. Accept it. Chantel, shalom, sis. Yeah, I'm trying to add you, sis. It's saying adding. You gotta accept it. You probably can't see the button. And like I said, though, everybody, if you would share the class, tag somebody in the class, tag everybody in the class. We're gonna have some interesting interviews. I got an interview with a brother who has 2 wives, and he's been operating like that for some time now. I got an interview with another brother that I spoke with today. I think he said he got 5 wives, if I ain't mistaken, 5. And you didn't get the notification? Yeah, it said like you got it on my end. Hold on, sis. I'm gonna send it again. Add. Put me on. I don't know what you're talking about, Willis. What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? It's trying to add you right now. Oh, okay, I see. My mistake. There you go. 5. And
Hey, shalom.
Shalom, you sound better.
Okay, I have my headphones now.
All right, cool.
All praises.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself. I'll let you because I know you're on limited time.
Yes, so as I spoke on Friday, so my name is Jael. I'm a sister who lives in UK, in London. I was brought up in France, but the rest, and we are originally from Ivory Coast, where we practice polygamy. So I've grown up with mothers and grandmothers, and that's my reason why I know that it can work if it's done decently and in order. Related to Israel, I think we need to remember that polygamy is not sinful. If you all believe that it's sinful, it also that you believe that our forefathers and foremothers were in sin. So I don't really understand your logic about it. But yeah, anyway. I think
Listening to what she said, if y'all believe that multiple wives is sin, then what you're saying is your forefathers and foremothers were all living in sin. It don't make sense. Go ahead, sis.
Exactly. And without polygamy, actually, we wouldn't have had the nation of Israel. So, yes. I believe that when we speak about polygamy, we really, really need to put our emotions on the side, especially for the sisters we need to think not about, we need to live this individualist way of living that we have in Western countries and in America, especially in America, I would say, because we have it in Europe also, but it's not as strong as in America. So when you talk about this kind of conversation, you need to think about the nation of Israel and not your little person. We need to respect each other as well, because my views that might be different than your views. Monogamy is also totally righteous, but we need to be respectful, and we need to treat the conversation with respect between each other. And we shouldn't be condemning a brother or sister as well if they are promoting polygamy. I wanted to speak about a few different subjects, how polygamy is actually serving Esau. What are the benefits of polygamy in Israel and in the household? What polygamy will help us with, sisters and brothers, but actually it helps more the sisters than the brother, really. And what are the benefits of polygamy and sisterhood? Because I guess a lot of our sisters really, really misunderstand it. When Judah did the class a few days ago, it was very funny because you were sharing about, I don't know, some sisters thinking that the man is just walking half naked in the house and he has women. It's not like this, actually. It's even more work for a husband. So if your husband is actually talking about polygamy with you, you need to remember that he's doing it out of love. And it's a big jest, so yeah. Let's go back to the beginning. So how is monogamy serving Esau? So if you think about monogamy, you also think that in a monogamic couple, you will have one woman and one man. So you will be able to bear children, but much less than if you are in a polygamous relationship. How is that helping Esau? We know that they want to control us with different ways. You will have the pill, abortion, and I also consider monogamy as being one of them. When Esau is putting some laws out, I always question these laws, because to me, most of the laws are things that we were celebrating, that we were actually practicing. And for Esau to put polygamy illegal in all these countries, I was always thinking, why? Why is that? Because in a way they will be controlling how many children we have, how many children Israel has. And it's just a logic. It's just a logic. It's something that they've been doing forever. They've been using laws in their land to stop us from practicing what we used to practice. You will be able as a woman to have, I don't know how many children in one lifetime, because as a woman, personally, I don't want to be pregnant and have a child and be pregnant again, because I don't think it's really correct. But in a normal lifetime, maybe you will have, 7 children or something. When you're in a polygamous relationship, you'll have much more than this, obviously, because there is more women. The benefits of polygamy in the household. Again, I don't really deal with emotion. I think in Israel we need to be very careful with that and don't put our emotions first, especially women. So when I speak to my sisters, I always try to make them understand you need to be real with yourself and not take it only for your little person. So I believe that when a sister refuses polygamy to her husband, what she's actually saying is that she is ruling the house. Because her husband is sharing something with her, but she actually disagrees. She will just tell him, no, I don't want us to do this. Although it's his house and you are his woman. You were created for him, but you are taking authority. By doing this, you are losing the correct order. You are losing your place, and you are in sin, because you are supposed to obey your husband in everything. When he says everything, it's every decision that your husband will be telling you.
Right.
You have to obey him in everything. Do you agree?
You know I agree. I'm gonna tell you real quick, brothers and sisters, just so you know, and this is, I want to give many perspectives. My sister right here, Jael, she's unmarried, single sister, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Single sister. And one of the things that her sisters are going to try to come with and be like, well, how does she know? She ain't even married. Well, she's coming from the perspective of somebody that grew up watching that. As a young lady growing up, seeing that type of lifestyle work. So that's the perspective she's coming from. I have some married sisters that are going to come on also. So I just wanted to throw that out there because some of these sisters are crafty. They'll get on here with their little old
Exactly.
and be like, she ain't even married. Shut up.
Exactly. I don't come here to explain how it has to be done in the house as a wife, because I am not a wife yet. I come here to explain it how it is beneficial for Israel and how I have been living with this all around me. So as a woman, as a wife, I don't have the experience, but I have the experience because I've grown up in this kind of in this atmosphere, in this customs.
Right.
Yes. Definitely. So yeah, so we need to remember, sisters, when you refuse your husband, actually, when you tell your husband, no, I disagree, and you're not going to take your wife, who are you, and who do you think you are, and how are you acting? We need to remember the order. To me, when I hear, because it's the big talk in Israel recently, I have heard so many women going against it, and some of them are married, and they're even talking about the subject without consulting their husband first. So they don't know what their husband think about the polygamy. They don't know about it, but they still go and represent their husband in a way that, like, no, I don't agree. But it's the house of your husband. What about if your husband agree? So now you're in a disagreement with your husband for the whole world to see. That's not correct at all. It's not logical to me. It's not logical to me. When the scriptures say we have to obey our husband in everything.
Hey, sis, it's not biblical.
It's in everything.
It's not logical to God either. So you ain't alone. Trust
me. Exactly. I also wanted to talk about some facts in the world because I've seen a lot of posts recently talking about, but it doesn't work because anyway, the number of people born every day is the same for men and women. Sorry, excuse me. Which is true. Every day there is almost the same number for women born as men born. That is totally true. And this is worldwide. This is not in Israel. This is not Hispanic people and black people as the world calls us. By the age 25, when this young men and young women are born, when they turn 25, the number goes from, there is for one man born, 4 women are still alive. Because from year 0 to year 25, men are more in risk of being killed, being incarcerated for life, having more difficulties. So by the age 25, there is actually more women able to marry than there is men, because the system is actually killing our brothers or putting them in jail. So we need to remember this. It's a total logical move, because if you understand that there is 4 women for each man, it's a logical move.
Right. And we all talk about that. We all talk about how, women outnumber men. Women outnumber men. Women outnumber men. It's a reason for that. I'm going to tell you, it's a reason for something spiritually. Women have children up to a certain age and then they cut off. The Most High cut them off. Men can continue having children until they drop dead. Still swimming. It's a reason for that.
Yeah. And hence why even in West Africa, most of the time when you will have a polygamy union, the husband, his last wife, she will be very young. Most of the time she probably has the same age as the first child, with the first wife, because the last wife, she will be the one who is here to look after the children, cooking and cleaning. That will be her role, because the other ones are getting old and they have other things to do, other things to deal with.
Right.
So all of this we really, really need to remember. I was going on about the subject again. That's it's not your husband. It's the Most High servant. He's not your husband, sister. You need to remember this. We need to stop being greedy with our people. And it's all, I believe it's all motivated from jealousy and greed, really. Because I had to converse with few sisters about it, but their whole reason for refusing polygamy was just greed or jealousy, actually. Or they see it as something very lustful. They see it, that would be their only reason.
Yep, absolutely.
So yes, it's something more natural. The best thing will be, to me, I think, if you want to have this conversation with your husband, it's also you need to remember that he can choose a second wife without talking about it with you. So as a woman, it will be much wiser if you really go to your Lord and you start to talk about this with him, because then he might also listen to you, and you will be able to choose your sister with him. which is much better for the family. If you know that you have some good quality in looking after the home and looking after the children, and you have a good education, perhaps she can be business oriented. So you will be able to introduce, a certain sister to your husband and see how it goes. If you are the one who will enjoy working and doing a 9 to 5 at the office, perhaps she's the one who is more nurturing, so she will be able to stay home and look after the house. And to be honest, for me as a woman, who wouldn't like to finish work and you go work and the meal is ready and the children are fed and they are washed and you just have to go and sit down and actually have a nice conversation with your husband and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very logical to me.
And I'm gonna say something, and you hit something on the head. Oh, husband and wife, 9 times out of 10, husband and wife both have to work. When you get home, what's part of the argument? He gets home from work, she gets home from work. Who's gonna clean the house? I'm tired too. And it's an argument back and forth. Who's gonna cook the dinner? I work all day and I come home and slave on the kitchen, or whatever. But if you had another sister in there helping you, then guess what? That cancels all that argument. There's so many benefits to it. It makes it's just simple.
Yeah. Because in this captivity, these captivity are very different compared to the one we can read in the Bible. We just work a certain amount of hours, to just make the end meet, and it's a lot. It's just too much. It's not normal for me. And by having the polygamous way of living, it can also help you with your financial situation.
Right.
Having a second wife is having a second income. Although you still live in the same house, you are still paying the same mortgage, but instead of having 2 people paying the mortgage, there is actually 3 people. So even if one of the wife bear a child, there is still 2 income coming in the house. Who want to refuse a second paycheck? It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
By having a second woman, so one can be at work and the other one can actually look after the children. We all want our children to be educated the correct way. I don't trust the educational system that ISO is giving us, because they're just telling us lies. And I don't want my future children, Lord's will, to be educated in this system. So by having somebody else, a sister that I can trust, my sister, educating my children, is just the perfect thing. It's just perfect to me. You could even start a business. I have a business myself. I could start and teach this sister about my business. So while I go to work, she can deal after my business. This is amazing, It's saving me some money, saving my Lord some money. I'm still living in the same situation, and I might actually live in a better situation. Because if you show the bank that every month you're having 3 paychecks, you can get even more help if you want to buy a house or buy a second house at some point,
Right.
This is perfect. As I was saying, educational for the children is just perfect. They actually grow. They grow with around more women, so they grow in a more nurturing way of living as well. They have 2 women around them, which is lovely, I believe. That's how I grew up. So to me, it's something that's it's better than, to me, I see it as better than the monogamy way of living. You can educate the children at home, and if you even want to think about it deeper, you could even start something with your other brothers and sisters while they go to work. Your Lord will have one wife at home actually teaching children, so you can also help your brothers and sisters who are married and who have children, so they can go work and you can actually use your house to school their children.
Right.
So they also know that this is actually serving the whole nation. It is, because they actually know that the other children will also be learning the correct way, and they will be learning about the scriptures as well.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
I'm gonna tell you, sister, certain stuff is popping in my head as I work it out in my mind. A lot of sisters always say stuff like they want to start a garden. Brothers too, we want to start a garden, start growing our own food. But what hinders that? I gotta work. I'm tired when I come home. But what if you had help at home? What if you had a sister at home that can start that with you? I'll take care of it while you're gone, and y'all work together. You see the other nations doing this all the time. They'll come to this country and they'll all live in one house, all of them. There'll be 10 of them in there. And in school we'll make fun of the little kids and y'all all live in that house. That's all of y'all. Y'all packed in there. And then 10 years later, after we all graduate, that same kid that we was talking about drives a BMW. They got houses all over the city. They own a couple stores, and they put their stuff together and made it work. But when it comes to us doing that, jealousy rules everything.
That's what it is. Most of the sisters will take their husband as their possession, but it doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like this. And we always need to remember that you are for him. You are his servant. That's why you were created. If you disagree with this, to be honest, I can say it now, go and kick rocks, because that's what the Bible says. I'm not talking for myself. That's what the Bible says. If you disagree with this, you actually disagree with the Bible. So now you need to think about your faith. Am I really right? Am I really honest with my faith? Because if I disagree, that's written in the first book of the Bible. You need to agree with it. If you can't agree with that, this is none of my business. Stop the live now and just, I don't know,
Just go
change your way of
in
living.
the world. Just go in the world and do what the worldly people do. Don't
Exactly.
the Bible and act like I want to get back to our heritage. I want to take back what's ours. And then when it's time for the rubber to meet the road, then you're like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Exactly. So yeah, so I'm not for any sisters or emotion at all. I don't really take this in count. We just need to be honest with ourselves. You were created to serve your husband. You are a helpmate, so you don't need to keep thinking this way. And if your husband is loving enough and caring enough to think about having a second wife, which is a big change for him as well, remember this and be thankful to him, because it's actually giving you a lot of advantages. I believe that you will be living with another woman, so it's only going to promote sisterhood and better behavior between women. You have a sister who is always here to correct you and to help you. She's helping you to be more united with your sisters as well. I believe that we have a big issues in Israel with sisterhood, really. So to have another woman at home is actually promoting the sisterhood. She will be able to assist you in raising your children, looking after the household. Personally, after I work 60 hours a week, sometimes I go home and I'm really, really lazy to clean. I'm not really lazy, actually. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. So to have another sister at home is helping me with this. It's helping me with raising my children. It's also helping looking after your husband. Because there is some days when you finish work, you don't want to go and listen to his hard day at work. You just want to go and relax, play some music, and just sit down. If the other woman is here, she can actually help you to look after your husband as well, to take care of him and provide for him as we are supposed to do. It's also a very good assistance for when you are giving birth. Natural birth, natural way of living, giving birth at home, being around a woman when you give birth. It's just, to me, it's just ideal, really.
Right.
You have a sister, so you actually have a confidant at home. You have somebody with who you can actually talk. So it goes above husband and wife. It goes about, it's your husband and his wife and your sister. It's beautiful. And somebody with who you can actually better yourself, have assistance in bettering yourself. Always have another woman who will represent your house as well, so she will have some good behavior, and she's always here to correct you when it's needed.
Right.
But we need to accept it. We need to accept the correction. We need to accept that.
Absolutely. I know. How much time do you have left before you have to leave? I know you have to leave in a few.
Yeah, it's still around 20 minutes. So.
About 20 minutes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Apollo's good. I'll try to hit you up, brother. I see you just logged. I'll try to hit you up. You're gonna after the sister has to leave, I'm gonna pull you on or whatever to give your perspective and your experience from perspective of experience, that is. But yeah, like.
Can we all go live together?
No,
is that possible? No.
No, it won't let us. Yeah.
Okay.
I can only pull one in at a time. So, yeah, and he has 2 wives, I believe, and then I have another brother, Moshe. He's gonna come on after him, and he has, I believe, 5 wives, and they're gonna speak also. He's gonna allow his wives to speak or whatever, so we can have a full perspective on what's going on. All right, that was Moshe right there. But go ahead, sis. You go ahead and finish that. I'm gonna step away for a minute so I can call this brother. I'll give you the floor. All right.
Okay. Thank you. So I was talking with Judah as well earlier this week about the polygamy, how we practice polygamy in my country, in Ivory Coast, especially in my village. So it's not as hard as what some sister thinks, like the husband is just choosing the wife and you don't have anything to say. We believe that for a man it is very good to have 4 women and no more than 4 women, but it also has some condition. Is he mentally, physically and spiritually able to look after this woman? And this is decided by the chief of the village or the elders. So they are the people who were here before us, who are still alive, but they are here to guide us. So when a husband decides to take a second wife, prior doing anything else, he will go to the elders and he will ask for guidance. After the agreement with the elders, what he will do is talk about it with his first wife. And he will introduce the second wife, the second woman, to his first wife and see how everything goes. What I can say is also, it's about my family. So my grandfather had 4 wives, but after giving him 3 children, and after this he had a second woman, a second wife who is still alive, and she's my grandmother. She didn't give him any child, but she's always been here supporting the business, supporting the field, and working very hard. The third wife gave him around 14 children, or maybe 17. I can't exactly remember because we are a very, very big family. We have mostly aunties from her. I have few uncles from her, but yes, a lot of children, around 14 children. And the last one, who is the youngest and who is still alive, she gave him 7 children, and they are still here. We own a lot of field and we own a lot of land. Because my grandmother died very young, if he would have practiced monogamy, we would have never managed to keep the land that we own now. Because he would have had only 2 children with this woman. One of them, who is my father, moved to Europe, and the second one she's still in the village, but she's a woman, so she cannot be in charge of the land. We don't already agree with that. So by practicing polygamy, he actually saved our village, he saved our family, our name, and he really became, he was fruitful. So to me, because I see how it is done back home and how respectful it is, even in the way that they are living. So my had his own house, and then each woman had their own house as well. So they weren't all living, on the top of each other. Actually, when he wanted to spend a certain time with his first wife, he was going to her house. When he wanted the second wife, she was coming to his house or whatever. So it's always done in respect. If you are a married sister, your husband loves you and he cares for you. What he doesn't want to do is listen to your emotion, but he doesn't want to make you suffer. So he will do his best to do this decently and in order, because that's what the Bible is teaching him. So that's what he will always be doing. And that's the thing as well, in most countries, in all civilization, polygamy is okay. It's okay in India, it's okay in Iran, in Pakistan, it's okay in many different countries, in the whole Africa, also in South America, they also practice polygamy. The only countries that disagree, and where the women disagree as well, is the Western country, because we really lost the focus in these countries. And it's very sad, especially for the women. And I believe that, we have some requirements in polygamy. There is things that you need to remember. So the husband needs to understand that he's not taking a second wife out of lust, or just because he's bored of the first one. Your husband needs to understand that if he's taking a second wife, it's because she can actually do something at the house. Can she cook? Can she clean? Will she be helpful with the work, with the business? Hey, shalom, brother. So it's not out of lust, or it's not because he's just getting bored of the first wife. It's really, it has a reason. It's actually to multiply and to help the nation to grow properly. So by him taking a second wife, you're not going to be left on the side. This cannot happen. As I was saying, it comes from an act of love. Yes. Your husband is actually giving you the support that you need to live peacefully and peacefully and as comfortable as possible in this captivity. He's actually giving you help because this second woman will be the help for you. I believe that when your husband takes a second wife, it's better if the first one is involved, because this is how we practice it in my village. So I know that it's working this way. So I think that it is always better for the husband to involve the first wife in this, but he doesn't have to.
Exactly.
He doesn't have to.
Exactly.
So I know that it's always worked better, like in Africa, in West Africa, it always worked better because the first wife can actually be here, and no woman wants to share her kitchen with a second woman without knowing this person. So it's always better to ask, to just to converse about it with your wife, just to see what she thinks about this woman. But he doesn't have to. So even if he doesn't concern with you, that's how it goes. You have to accept it and trust him. That's the thing. You need to trust in him that he will do the best choice for your house, for his house. So it's a lot about trust.
Absolutely. And you brothers and you sisters, and I'm glad the Most High, Sister Jael, for you coming on and sharing your experience, sharing your views, sharing your culture, that you're less discontinued from the culture that we have right to than most of us, because I saw the pictures of you in Africa with your family and whatnot. I thought that was beautiful. I was like, wow, that's beautiful right there. And I knew that you had a different perspective, or probably a better perspective, a more pure perspective of life and culture than us over here in America and the Western countries spread abroad or whatever, because we all jacked up, And just like right now, some of y'all don't know. That's a still European, westernized country or whatever, but over there, the ingredients in the McDonald's burgers over there is different from the ingredients here. We are getting poisoned over in every way, form, and fashion. Every way.
Yeah.
And y'all look that up. Kellogg cereal. The ingredients on the back over in Europe are about this big. Over here, y'all seen it. They about that big. It's got everything in it. We don't even know how to pronounce it. They've jacked us up over here. So let me see something. Can everybody hear us? Because somebody just said the sound is gone. Is the sound okay right now? Can you hear me, Jael?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, everybody else can hear. I think Dominic, there's something wrong with the computer. Bro. All right, cool. But how much time you got left, Jael?
I can still stay a bit if you want me to.
Well, your final thoughts on this. I'm gonna pull another ball real quick, and we're gonna move forward. And I'm gonna call you a little bit later on today because I want to talk to you about some stuff.
Okay, no problem. Well, my final thought about it, it's when for the sister always is to, if you disagree with your husband, you always need to remember, why am I disagreeing? And you need to have a conversation with him about it. So you need to ask your husband to sit down with you and get the Bible and explain to him your views. And most of the time you will see that it's only because you are jealous or greedy, or you think that like you are not at your place. You are the one taking the decision. You are the one being in charge, and it doesn't happen like this. So always put yourself in, always check yourself, because most of the time it's because you are in sin. Jealousy is a sin, greed is a sin. I think that men need to remember that they are the ruler of the house, and that their women need to treat them as they would respect Christ. So don't be afraid of your wife. It's hard to say. It's very, very hard to say, but brothers, don't be afraid. If you want to have this conversation, it's your house. You have the right to have it. And she must listen. That's the thing as well. She has to listen. And we need to remember that we're all doing things for Israel. We don't do it for a little person. In 50 years or in 80 years, I won't be here no more. What will be left of me? I would love to have a big family, a huge family with my other sisters, and have a lot of children. So in this little part of London where I live, we will actually have a little Israelite village here. That's my goal. So I know that what I've been preaching all my life under my husband will be represented, and it will stay. I don't want to have, we need to think about the bigger picture. We need to think about the nation of Israel always, and not being too much in our emotions.
Yeah. Hey, sis, I'm going to tell you, thank you. What you're saying is light years ahead of most of these sisters. I'm telling you, old sisters, y'all about to lose. Y'all about to lose. We need young sisters to think like this so we can push the nation. If y'all didn't catch on, she was like, it's not just about her. It's about leaving a legacy. It's about creating a big family. It's about coming back to our roots, our culture, and our strength. That was our strength at one point. We are weak right now, and we are defending weakness, and we got to stop. And she said something that's real pivotal for you brothers. You brothers is weak to your wife. You better stop being scared. You better stop being scared. But sister,
And
go ahead.
also, just if sisters, just talk about it with your other sisters, and sisters don't hesitate to message me. And I think that the brothers can always go to Judah if you need some more information. But sisters, don't hesitate to message me, and we can always talk about it if your Lord agree. Obviously, always check it with your Lord first.
Right, absolutely. I'm telling you, I'm looking for. I don't know if you're looking for a husband, but I'm looking for a husband for you. He gonna have to be the right dude, because we can't just give you to anybody, because you're on a whole nother level. These sisters is just behind. So don't let that go to your head, though, sis.
No.
Okay. All right. You have a great day at work. I know you got to get going. I got some other people that's gonna come on. Thank you. All praise to the Most High for your testimony.
Thank you, brother. Shalom.
All right. Shalom. Where you sisters at? I'm telling you, sisters, hey, it's time, brothers. I'm telling you, the Most High is doing something different. Brothers, there are sisters like that y'all just heard from that are ready to submit. They're ready to say, whatever you like, my Lord. They're ready to do it according to the Bible. Right now, some of y'all are sitting in the house with that sister that got mouth. And right now, y'all probably scared to say it, but y'all vexed in your spirit right now. Right now, some of y'all right now in your spirit is thinking, dang, I wish she was my wife. Talking about the sister that just jumped off Jael. I know some of y'all are. And y'all looking at that dragon that you with. And you're like, golly, I'm stuck with her. And she probably looking at you like, I'm telling you. Masharathyah wanted to get on here real quick, so I'm going to go ahead and add my brother before I add my brother Apollo. Brother Apollo's be ready. Masharathyah just want to say something real quick. He just hit me up and asked to come on. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, shalom, man. Hey, that was good. Yeah, and I second what Judah said. We ain't just gonna give sisters away to anybody. Shoot, that's priceless right there. But she said,
young brother, step your game up, because your sisters out there like that waiting on you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, she said something that was good too when I was driving, and I was like, damn, because you would get a lot of sisters who got husbands, and the sisters don't agree with it, but all of a sudden they become the spokesman for everybody. They the spokesman for their husband. And you know me, I've said this before. You get a lot of sisters, man, that come on and they comfortable with saying whatever it is that they want to say, and then they'll preference it, well, my husband. And I'll be thinking, like, it's either two things. Either you just dragging in the house where your husband can't control you, or he just weak to you and let you do anything. Because no sister should be comfortable if you married to come on Facebook and be argumentative or give your opinion or be like, I don't agree with it. Because like the sister said, it's not about what you think. It's not about what you agree. It's just what the Bible says. And if you love, right, and if you love your husband and you respect him like you say you do, then you won't even think. You should have that fear to be like, dang, if I come on Facebook and I argue with, brothers, or I state my opinion, how does that make him look? Because I can name sisters on Facebook that be watching our classes. I can give you a name, and it's not because if it's a good thing. I know your name because you come on here and you got a whole lot of stuff to say. And that's not good. I should never be able to know your name. And I got a bad memory. I'm actually retired from the military because I have a bad memory. So if I know your name off of that, something is wrong.
Yeah, and that's right. Y'all might not know it's about Masharathyah. That ain't Masharathyah's real head. They had to do a head transplant. That's a different head. That's why it don't grow hair. It ain't a real head. It's a clone head. You got them to a wreck and they took it back.
Hey, you can't say that because, you got those, what are those people, those conspiracy theorists?
People.
They be like, I knew that wasn't Mosh, man. He had a mole on this side and then now he ain't got one. They didn't clone Mosh. You got them conspiracy people out there. So,
all right.
Yeah. All right, bro. No, you good.
All right, you can come back. Tell me if you want to come back on after. I'm about to put Apollos on real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. I can't wait to hear it, man.
All right.
All right.
All right, now, brothers and sisters, y'all heard the sister's testimony or whatever. I'm trying to give as many perspectives through experience as possible. She's coming from the experience of growing up in a household, and many households with her family that operated like that with a polygamy situation. And she, as a little girl, she grew up watching her mother and her mother's sister wife. I mean, her grandmother and her grandmother's sister wife and her uncles and her auntie's sister wives in the kitchen, raising the children, helping each other. One have a baby and she's pregnant and she need help with the newborn because she's exhausted. She just had surgery. Pregnancy is crazy. She got all the help in the world. And it's not just some stranger coming in to help, somebody that's burdening themselves having to come over to their house and spend extra time after they get off work. It's actually somebody that lives in the house, that loves the child just like you love the child, that's going to represent the husband just like she's going to represent the husband, that's going to take care of everything just like she would take care of everything, and it's going to take care of her because she loves her also because they're a family. This is how it's set up in the Bible. Now we act like something's wrong with it. Why? Because we're looking at weak brothers and dragging sisters that think they running stuff. And they are, because you're allowing them to. But there are people out there, just like in the scriptures when the prophet said, I am but left alone. And the Most High said, I reserved 7,000 that have not bowed the knee to Baal. Same way today, the Most High reserved many brothers and sisters that have not bowed the knee to Babylon, bowed the knee to America, bowed the knee to Europe, bowed the knee to wherever we are scattered to. People that are still living the way that the Most High set up and ordained for us to be able to live if we thus choose. But let me get Apollos on here real quick. Let me see if I can find him in my thing. There he is. Apollos, if you're ready, I'm adding you, brother. Just accept the invitation. Let me give y'all, we're not just going to come talking out the side of our neck. We're going to give you people that got experience. People that got experience. Apollos, if you see it, brother, accept that ad. I might have to do it a couple times because Facebook be tripping. Ah, there you go.
Shalom.
Shalom, brother.
What's going on, bro?
You in it?
Yeah, man. I don't know why they think it's a game out here, but hey, the scriptures gonna come out.
And let me ask you this. Did you hear that? Were you able to chime in and hear the sister?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it. I was on the road, but I'm on the way back to the house right now. So I heard a little bit of it. I didn't get a chance to check out the whole thing, but you know, the sister got a humble spirit on her. And it's good that brothers get to see that it's actually possible for a sister to be in that type of spirit, because brothers think this is impossible. Like we doing the impossible or something over here. Like your brother found out you got more than one wife, they look at you like you a superhero or something. Like you just threw the cape on or something.
Right. How'd you do that?
And this is exactly how you do that, brother. Like you did a magic trick. This is normal. This is normal life for us. This is supposed to be normal, but because we're so used to living like the heathen, you know, we literally live every way like the heathen, and
Right.
then blame it on them when we not living the right way, or our families not living, our households not thriving. We blame it on them when the Lord told us not to listen to them. You know, that's all we doing is listening to them.
Right. Right. Let me ask you.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
How long before you get home? Because I really the perspective I want, because they, you know, I teach to a class right now, because I teach, you teach. We don't want to quote when it comes to this subject, especially. I really want them to hear from the perspective of your family. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to hear, because that's what's going to really change the tide of this thing.
I understand. It's no problem. Yeah, I thought we was gonna do it in the morning at first, but I still can let one of them speak because the other two are at work right now.
Okay.
We got one that's in the house right now. She watching my daughter, my youngest one that's pregnant. You know, I have four.
Yeah, four.
And yeah, four. And that's three of them is Hebrew, one of them Gentile, which would make her a second-rank wife, a concubine, not an actual on the same level as the sisters. So, yeah, I mean, two of them in there asleep, but one gone at work, the other one sleeping, the other one watching the baby. So I'm gonna let y'all holler at the one watching the baby. You know, I'll let y'all ask a question or whatever. And it's funny because I had hollered at my bro. I was like, yeah, you know, they want us to jump on there. My bro Isaiah was like, man, I don't know about letting your women go on there, man. I was like, nah, man, I wouldn't damn sure wouldn't let them go on there. You know, I'm gonna let them answer a question or two, you know, so the people can understand. I understand how, you know, why it's needed. Like what you're doing is needed because brothers is scared. Like brothers is trembling right now, and
Right.
see, just scared to say, scared to look over their shoulder to see if they woman looking at the screen right now.
Hey,
You know, they
I guarantee you, and some of you sisters gonna be like, damn, that's my husband. I guarantee you, it's brothers right now that was looking at this with their wife, and they're like, man, I ain't looking at that. He's off. Walked off, and their wife is still sitting there listening. Your
brothers
husband
will.
weak as hell, sister. I'm just telling you right now, you ain't got no Israelite man, you got an Israelite woman.
Straight up, man. I mean, brothers gotta stand up for themselves, man. Stand up. Not only stand up for yourself, you gotta stand up for your brothers. You know, it's a tragedy making brothers and sisters equal because then you dilute the importance of this king, of this Lord. You know, the Lord set so much up in this man, and now for you to treat him like he's on the same level as a woman, he ain't set salvation up in a woman. He set it up in these kings and priests. Yeah, they definitely trying to dilute that. But I did notice, you know, there was a little cat that was, you know, trying to speak against y'all or whatever. And it's funny because like I'm watching these other cats as well, you know, on other platforms that's doing these multiple watch. It's amazing how brothers is so unlearned on the topic and say such foolish things. Like the brother with the long white beard, you know, I'm talking about brother was like Abraham only had a concubine because Sarah gave it to him or because of Sarah. And I'm pretty sure you touched on that topic already, but I mean Genesis 25:6 tell you Abraham had more than one concubine already.
Right.
So if you can't try to use that excuse, all that is putting the power in the hands of the woman, saying the only reason why he was able to do it is because of a woman validated. It's the same thing that they're teaching in America. You can't do
And
co-sign it.
and look, I'm gonna say this. To say that and mean it, Abraham, who the Most High said he trusts Abraham because he will command his house after him. We saying
Right,
that Sarah forced Abraham to sin against God, and he accepted it.
right, right. And I mean, and some people go as far as back to saying, "Oh, the law wasn't around." And how you gonna say the law wasn't around yet when clearly Judah was breaking the law? I mean, Judah's son was breaking the law, and the Lord put him to death. Brought another son up. That son was breaking the law. He put him to death because he didn't want to give seed to his brother.
According
This was
to
before
the law.
Moses. That was a law. This is before Moses, though. So my
Right.
thing is, obviously the law was going on beforehand, and brothers try to make it seem like our forefathers was just some straight up sinners, straight wicked. And my thing is, you really not even giving yourself a chance when you say stuff like multiple wives was always a sin. It was just the will of man. I mean, you gotta be kidding. Look, if I may, brother, I want to grab a couple scriptures before I do bring one in, because I want to touch on that subject off the rip. You know what I mean?
Hey, I ain't gonna never stop you from bringing out the word.
For sure. Go on, grab that Genesis 25 real quick.
I got you, brother. You froze up a little bit. Hey, can y'all still hear me? That ain't on my end, is it? Oh, okay, that was yours. Yeah, I'm here. What you got? A phone call?
Nah, I was trying to go to my little notes on here, but I guess I gotta do it on another little thing. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Yeah, I was trying to get an earpiece, man, because that's another thing, man. Your earpiece game is so whack, Judah. I'm
My
telling
ear.
you now. Oh my goodness, it
What you
is
talking?
whack.
What you talking about?
Your earpiece game. Like every time Mosh get on, your voice go way lower. We can hear Mosh clear because he got them earpieces in. But yours be lower. Like we hear you nice and clear, but as soon as he get on, it's like your shit go down to like 50% of the voice. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was going to go get me an
I'm being
earpiece
humble.
for
You know what I'm saying?
me.
I'm giving my brother. I'm esteeming my brother better than myself.
I hear you. just can't hear you sometimes. That's why I was on the way to the store right then left for that reason. I was like, man, I don't want to be like that. But you know how it be sometimes, man. I got there, the damn headphones ain't charged anyway, so I still gonna do this.
Hey, y'all forgive me. Sorry.
Give me 1 second, brother.
Got you. Look, everybody like, yeah, he's speaking straight facts. Hey, man, y'all deal with it. Turn y'all's ears up. I'm going to get some headphones, y'all. I'm sorry. Them AirPods be giving you brain cancer. I looked at the thing on the, what's the name of them? Them damn earphones be giving you brain cancer. Marcia, you ain't getting no milk in the morning ever again for that comment.
Straight up, nah, that's funny. All right, but yeah, first off, Genesis 25:6, man. Just I want to touch on that real quick.
I got you.
Okay, believers, you know.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 6. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son while he yet lived, eastward unto the east country.
So obviously the brother had more than one concubine. It's important because people look at the way they look at women is so off today, and that's another thing that I want to bring out. Just like I was saying before, the way the perception of a woman is looked at as such a leader, and God don't look at her as that leader that everybody looking at her to be. They putting stuff on a woman's plate that she just not prepared to take care of, man. And we playing dress up with her. We playing and co-signing with it by not allowing the Bible to take its proper course in our household, man.
Right.
Real talk. So he's saying clearly that this man had more than one concubine already. How can you then turn around and try to make it seem like this man only was able to do this because of this woman, and it was okay for this man to break God's laws because of this woman? So that don't do nothing. That's more woman empowerment. That's all that is. That's more lies. So that the Bible is clear. That's not what was going on. For people to think that's where most of the foolery come from. So give me Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 10. Deuteronomy 20 verse 10.
All right. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20 and verse 10. It says, when thou comest nigh unto the city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it
So
shall
this is talking about when we was going to war. Bringing this out just to show the way the Lord look at women is not how we look at women. And this hopefully will help women understand you're not as important as you think you are. If you was, the Lord wouldn't be passing y'all out like candy. You got to keep it real with yourself. All right, go ahead and read that, brother.
It says, and it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee.
And they shall what?
And they shall serve thee.
So this is every time we went through, we was no weak dudes. Everywhere we went, everybody had to serve us. And if they didn't serve us, everybody got put to death. This is orders that was given by the Most High. He said, every town you go to, this is what you do. You go up in the town and ask them if they want to have peace. If they don't want to have peace, then y'all ransack the place. But keep reading.
And verse 12, and if it will make no peace with thee, but will war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it. And when the Lord thy God hath delivered it unto thy hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the woman, or the women, and the little ones, and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thy enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
So it tell you we were supposed to eat the spoil of our enemies. The women was included in the spoils of war. Women and children was also included in the spoils of war. So he read that last line again, and my mind kind of went out a little bit.
Verse 14, but the women and the little ones, and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take to thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
Which the Lord have given thee. That's the key right there. By you sitting there trying to come between a man and this woman, you sitting there coming between the Lord and his servant. The Lord is giving brothers things, but due to them being good men for him, or good righteous men on this earth for him. And our sisters think they can get in the way of God's blessings. One of the blessings you'll see is women. When women were given to men as blessings
As
in the Bible. Exactly. This is a beautiful blessing. Beautiful blessing to have.
This is the thing, sisters. Y'all shouldn't be real. I'm telling you, like what he just said about women thinking that they're more important than they are. Sisters, you do. When you put yourself equal to a man, you are knocking yourself out of course with God. He didn't make you like the same way he didn't make certain foods for us to eat. Those foods were not for meat for us. The same way with sisters versus brothers. He made y'all to serve in a certain order. And when y'all operating in the order that y'all supposed to be operating in, we are supposed to die for y'all. We're supposed to fight for y'all. We're supposed to stay. But when y'all ain't operating in that order, y'all the devil. And we don't owe y'all nothing. Nothing.
No man wanna defend a woman that's not obedient. It's just how it is. That's impossible. Like, why would you be standing up for a woman that just don't stand up for you whatsoever, the things she's supposed to do? You know, it just sounds crazy. But it's clearly showing you that when we went to war, we would go throughout these cities, and if the men didn't want to listen, we would kill all the men in the city and take all the women captive. All right, this is us. This is our heritage. I know that might sound bad to y'all. This is who we came from. These are our people did this. So you go to Judges 5, verse 30 for me.
Judges 5 and 30. Judges chapter 5, verse 30. Have they not sped? Have they not divided the prey? To every man a damsel or two.
So when we came back from war, brothers went throughout the city and divided these women throughout the brothers of the city. To every man a damsel or two. We went to every man, make sure every single brother had a woman. Then we went through again and made sure every brother had two. Then we went through again, make sure every brother had three. We had to make sure everybody had one because that's how we got down. None of this lording over your brother stuff. No, we was having the brothers have the equality amongst each other. That's why I said to every man a damsel or two. And this was happening throughout all of the cities. Go back to Deuteronomy, you were just saying, Deuteronomy 21? Or 20?
Deuteronomy 20 and what?
One more time.
Deuteronomy 20 and 14. But the woman and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shall thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
Go ahead.
Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not the cities of these nations.
The Lord said we were supposed to do this to every city that was far off. So imagine how many women or sets of women was given to the brother. And then they got the audacity to say that you can't have no concubines. That's insane. It don't even make no sense when they tell you in the next chapter if you go throughout. Let's go to that real quick because you touched on it a second this morning, Deuteronomy 21 and 10 real quick. And it makes no sense to say these things because obviously not reading the same scriptures we read.
Hey, I'm telling you, brothers is picking and choosing. And the thing,
I mean, my goodness.
Hey, brothers, if y'all scared, then just be scared. It ain't for you.
Straight up.
But don't make it sin. Don't add to the word and take away, because you endanger the hellfire doing it.
They're playing with the wrong one.
Deuteronomy 21 and 10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them unto thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then
now, I don't know how anybody could try to dance around this and say it's a Hebrew anything. It's talking about people we went to war with, and we took over their land. Same what we just read in the chapter before. He's saying you see amongst the captives a beautiful woman. It's not hard stuff to understand. Problem is they don't want you to understand it because that's giving you more power. A female being in the truth or a Gentile being in the truth is going to make our sisters work even harder. And that's the thing about it, because the Gentiles, a lot of the Gentiles don't have that strung up in their mind. I don't want to say strung up in their mind. They don't have that issue caught up in their mind of us being real men.
Hey,
Everybody else can look and see that we are real men. The only ones can't see that we real men is our sisters, because they've been brainwashed to think that we're not real men.
there you go.
So other women outside of our nation, them not being brainwashed, think that we're not real men. They pay more reverence towards us, and in return will make our sisters work even harder. Like, she might not think you ain't nothing, but let you got 2-3 handmaids. Now she looking at you like you something. Why? Because the woman is the glory of a man. And the woman make a man look good. All right? It's just how it is. That's why they trying to keep these women from y'all. You know, everybody know if they let it be in the country right now, legal, so-called legal, because we actually the law. If they make it so-called legal for a man to have more than one wife, obviously all of the brothers, I'm talking about brothers in the truth or out of the truth, are gonna take all the women. That's who we are. We are naturally dominant. We're the naturally dominant race. So because of that, they have to keep us in this mindset of thinking that is sin. Yet, for some reason, how we got brothers in the truth that cannot see this, and you dealing with the Bible every day, and you can't see that. That's crazy. But a lot of them is agents. I'm keep it honey with you. A
Hey,
lot of them is
I'm a
agents.
believer. I'm starting to be a believer. That camp that I came from, the stuff that they teach, they'll say this: we're at war. We're gonna march. Some of us used to shave our beards. Oh, and we're doing that because we're at war. We're at war. Taking it back from the nations. That's right. That's right. And then we'll read this where it talks about if you're at war and you see a beautiful woman, they're like, oh, that's only when we was at war. We ain't at war right now. We in captivity. Hold up, Negro. You just said 2 different things right there.
Man,
Is we at
it's
war?
a lot of double tongue going on, man. A lot of double tongue going on. A lot of hypocrisy.
Shut up.
Man.
Hey,
So I mean, go ahead.
Apollos. I'm gonna run through the scriptures real quick because I don't want to shut down the scriptures, but I got another class that I got to do in a couple hours. I got to do one too, so I want to get everybody in. But where you want me at?
Okay, yeah. Let me get a couple more in, because I definitely want to touch on these, and I'm gonna go ahead and get her to answer a couple questions too for y'all.
All right.
So this another one, just trying to prove. I mean, it's ridiculous saying that it was a sin in the Old Testament. This is the easiest thing to do. But 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 12, please.
Appreciate you coming on, brother. Because this is needed. This is needed.
No problem, fine, no problem.
2 Samuel 5 and 12. It said, real quick before I read that, sisters, he's gonna allow his wife to answer a couple of questions. He'll pick the questions that she answered, but have your questions ready. So go ahead and type them up before you push send. Just wait, just have them ready. And once we say now, ask the questions, because y'all start now and we ain't gonna see them. All right. So you want verse 12, right, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 12. And David perceived that the Lord had established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people, Israel's sake.
All right, so now this is talking about David. A lot of people, again, they said it was wrong for a man to have more than one wife. This is the instance when David perceived that he became king. This here, right here, what we read. So you just read that scripture. Now, what happens the very next scripture, my brother? Can you please read that?
Absolutely. Verse 13. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born to David.
So now, if this was a sin, you got to tell me that this is, first of all, you got to be able to show it to me. That ain't happened yet. But, I mean, that's crazy. But let's get Acts 13 real quick before I even touch on it. Acts 13:22. And to understand that David was not some wicked dude that just went and did what he wanted to do. And then the Lord said, okay, I'm going to make you king. Nah, the Lord, David was a righteous man. You know, he didn't all of a sudden become wicked because you brothers were scared of your wife.
Acts 13:22. And when he had removed him, he raised up unto him David to be their king. To whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will.
So he said he was a man after his own heart. Man, he's the same type of man he would be. So if you're a man after his own heart, how you turn around and make this man wicked? That's the Lord already told you what type of man this dude is. So he say the first thing, dude, the first scripture after dude becoming a king is what? It tell you he got more concubines and wives. And the
Read
word
it.
more,
I'm gonna read
say,
it
go ahead, bro.
because it's beautiful to all you scoffers and you weak brothers with your walking around in pink drawers. Check it out.
Straight up.
2 Samuel 5:12. And David perceived that the Lord established him king over Israel, and that he had exalted his kingdom for his people Israel's sake. And David took more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem after he was come from Hebron. And there was yet sons and daughters born to David.
So basically he's saying soon as dude, the Lord trusted him with his kingdom, soon as dude got the kingdom, first thing he did was go send it up. Big time, do what he want to do. This is not what's going on. But we making this brother a sinner. We turning things into sin that's not sin. You know, all these scriptures y'all running to in the New Testament talking about the bishop must be blameless. Let me get one on the blameless real quick, because that's a total false doctrine right there that they trying to push, talking about the blameless mean have one wife. Where is that at? Matter of fact, give me one, Luke chapter 1, verse 6. These scriptures is not gonna lie on each other, man. Y'all gotta stop playing around. He didn't say that this man was wicked. It say this man got more than one wife. The millisecond he became king. Come on, man. Stop it. Go ahead, brother.
This is Luke chapter 1, verse 6. And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord, blameless.
Blameless. The blameless had to do with righteousness, man. It ain't have to do with a man having one wife. What he was listing was a list of the attributes that you had to have in order to hold that position. Blameless was an attribute, and the husband of one wife was an attribute. Those two didn't go back to back in the sentence on every time when he mentioned this. But they make it seem like that's exactly what he said when he said blameless, blameless, blameless. They start all that scream. Come on, man. Read it in context of what it's saying. Because all these other times it's talking about blameless means you have to have some blame. So show me in the scripture where the blame is coming from. You got to be able to pull a scripture to say what a brother is doing something wrong. You can't say this is the scripture because he's saying you have to be sinless, is what he's saying. He's not saying that the sin is the next line that it's talking about. But
yeah,
like I mean, clear punctuation alone will eliminate that foolishness because it goes from the sentence, it has a comma in it and not a semicolon. If it said I would that you would be blameless and then semicolon and then said the husband of one wife, that'll tell you it's talking about that same thing that it was speaking before the semicolon. The comma is showing you that it's moving on to an additional part of the sentence. I mean, that's just simple. Punctuation could tell you that this is not talking about what y'all talking about. But y'all adding to the scriptures like wicked people do. And there's a judgment for that.
Hey,
so
I want to make some sense of something right now, because it says in 1 Timothy 3, it says, if you desire the office of a bishop, you must be the husband of one wife. That's no different if you go into UPS and be like, if you desire the office of a manager, you must shave your beard off. Well, I don't want to shave your beard off. Well, okay, you can't be a manager.
All right.
That
don't make no sense.
Like anywhere you go, you got to shave your beard off. No matter what position, you go to another job and you got to shave your beard. If you want that job, this is what you got to do. If you don't want that job, then you ain't got to do that.
I seen another brother was trying to say, you have to be the husband of one wife. If you're not the husband of one wife, then what he said about the bishop. No, he said the bishop, like what you were just saying. Like, you can't say that just because, you got a wife or whatever, or you want to be one wife. Hold on real quick. Chill ass out of here. Damn, dog. Nah, but look, man, it's real serious, man. Like, when they say the husband of one wife and the bishop must have one wife, it would make no sense for them to even make this statement if it was a sin. It would make no sense. Because if it was a sin, it would be understood that a man can't have. How would he say a bishop must? This make no sense. If it was a sin, why would he have to mention it? It's not like it's saying a bishop must then not eat pork. A bishop must then must not go out on the Sabbath day and break the law. A bishop must, you know what I'm saying? This is something that's clearly a law that's out there brothers is able to do, but they're making a difference. That's the same thing, that game they try to run on Deuteronomy 17 about the king.
Right.
That's the same thing. If you try to run that game, this is speaking of a specific office. This is an office. Now, if we have to speak of this office not doing this, it's because it's lawful for everyone else to do it. That's why we have to speak of this office not being able to do it. And the brothers just try to turn around and say, oh, if you are a real brother of the Lord, you're going to be aspiring to be a bishop. You're going to be aspiring to be. Well, what about brothers aspiring to be a carpenter? What about plumbers? What about, I mean, everybody ain't sitting up in the church every 5 minutes. Everybody don't have the time to be a bishop. Don't sit here and try to force this on this man. Oh, this is what you're supposed to be aspiring to do. No, that's not what it say. It say if. And obviously, if means there's stipulation. The brother don't have to have this. It doesn't say if he don't, he wicked. But everybody's now being bunched into being bishops and deacons now, just to try to save face, because the bishops and deacons are scared of their woman.
And that's exactly, hey, and I'm gonna tell you, that's exactly what it is. You read in 1 Corinthians where it says there's one spirit, but many different offices. Many different, not everybody's going to be a teacher. Not everybody's going to be administration. Not everybody's going to be, not everybody's going to have the gift of tongues. The eye can't say to the ear can't say to the foot can't say to the mouth, the nose can't say to the arms. So where did you get that from? I'm telling you, it's from, like you said, it's weak brothers trying to be politically correct for their women.
Yeah, exactly, man. Let me get another one. This is 1 Timothy chapter 3, brother. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 7.
All right, 1 Timothy 3 and 7.
I'm gonna run through them real quick.
Hey, hey, brothers and sisters, when you got a teacher hey, you gonna run the precepts.
Hey, we got to, man.
1 Timothy 3, let's roll with it. 1 Timothy 3 and 7. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he get into reproach and the snare of the devil. Likewise, must the deacons be grave, not double-tongued, not given to much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre, holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience.
That's right, go ahead.
Verse 10, and let these also first be proved. Then let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. Even so must their wives be grave.
So we just read a list of things that's saying that this man is being found blameless through these things. But let the elders tell it that blameless was damn near only speaking about man having another wife. Like, because that's the way they use that sentence. It's not, blameless was talking about keeping the commandments, not having no faults that brothers then brought up against you and it been proven against you. That's blameless. Like them, like
he paused a little bit, but he say like the bit of IUIC, both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Like your boy Kanai, like your boy Nate. These brothers is not blameless. These brothers is not qualified to be bishops
at all. And
they sitting here sitting all high and mighty and speaking all extra loud in the microphone. Bruh, the Lord, that game that don't play on the Lord, don't play on nobody that feel the Lord either. Like that's a show over there. Ain't nothing but an act over there that's poisoning our people, making our sisters worse. Our families it's sisters out here damn near homeless in shelters, and brothers ain't trying to bring them in. Why? Because they're scared their woman gonna say something. Because IUIC saying stuff like, see you in no type of contact with this single sister. You don't even need to be in the same car with the sister. Hey, so you mean to tell me you paying for this car, God? You gonna tell me who can be in my ride? And I'm sitting there bringing the sister to camp every week, and you got a problem? You gonna tell me the sister can't be in my ride? I mean, it's too much lording over brothers going on. I'm sorry, I can't take it. I never was made that way. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I only lasted 5 minutes in there. I lasted 5 minutes and had
All
to get up
praise.
out of there.
It was 5 wasted minutes. I got 10 years of wasted minutes.
Man, with them 5, I got a chance to at least see, these brothers is not holding it down right. These brothers ain't got no brotherly love. So I definitely using 5 minutes good. I appreciate that from the Lord. Let me get a couple more on this blameless. Philippians 2 and 13. Philippians 2 and 13.
Book of Philippians chapter 2, verse 13. For it is God which worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Do all things without murmurings and disputing, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God without rebuke, in the midst of
you got to be kidding me right now. Brothers that took this and turned it into a doctrine, thinking blameless is just talking about having one wife. No, that was another attribute of being a bishop or a deacon. And again, every man's not a bishop or a deacon. But just for them to scream these scriptures out and stuff like, oh, it says the two. So you saying none of our foremothers were one flesh with their husband? You telling me none of David's wives was one flesh with their husband? You telling me none of Abraham's women was one flesh? You telling me none of Jacob's women was one flesh with their husband? You don't understand the foolishness you're saying by saying these things.
Hey,
but again, IUIC put a battery in your back though.
I'm gonna give you on that two becoming one. Watch this, because remember in Ephesians it says that the church and our the marriage and our relationship with our wives and our children is a great mystery, but he's speaking concerning Christ in the church. So what we do is a reflection of how Christ and the Most High set up the church. So the things we do in marriage is a reflection of that. Now watch this. The two should become one. Watch this. This is John 17 and 11. It says, now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. And I come to thee, Holy Father. Keep through thine own name those who thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are one.
That's right.
Right? So watch this. Hold on. Verse 21, that they may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. So that's right. Christ, the Most High, then all of Israel said they won.
That's right. And that's the thing. You one in spirit. That don't mean that it can't be more than one. How can we be one body of Christ and be all of these members and still be confused about how a man can have a body with all of them?
How can we? Hey, hold on. You froze up a little bit. But watch this. We say that we are the bride of Christ. One bridegroom, many brides. Direct reflection of marriage. Christ, the scriptures say Christ in the church is a direct reflection of marriage. But spiritually, that must be sin then. Christ is committed because he got too many brides.
Too many, man. Yeah, man. It's just, it's almost sickening, just watching brothers try to defend something that's clearly a woman is behind this. It's clear. Like, it ain't the scriptures don't say what you're saying. So obviously it's something behind it. And we know because we didn't deal with many brothers. Every time we had a situation, it's a weak brother that's scared to tell a woman what to do. Those the only brothers that speak out against a man having more than one wife is a brother that's scared to control and dominate his woman. And that's a cuss word to him. Like, oh, you don't treat her that way. She's a woman. She's a queen. She's a servant to her husband first before anything. And she can't understand that she can't be anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, I got to speed it up, though, because I got another brother waiting on the line. I need to get him.
All right, cool. Hold on.
Hey, you sisters with y'all's questions, y'all can go ahead and start posting questions now. The brother going to skim through them, make sure that he, he agrees before he allows his wife.
I'm going upstairs right now.
I'll praise it.
Come up for you.
Yeah, it's a great awakening. You brothers, it's time for you. Sisters, it's time for y'all to let go of the wheel. Hey, let Jesus take the wheel. And he gonna give it to us. Jesus take the wheel. You know y'all love that. Jesus take the wheel. And he gonna hand it over to the brother. And he gonna tell you to sit in the passenger seat and shut up.
Yeah, so she about to come down real quick. She up there with the baby. Got my other daughter finna watch the baby real quick.
All right.
But yeah, man. It's a blessing, man. We just want brothers to be able to receive these blessings that's here for us, you know. And
Thank you.
brothers is caught up in they come out of the bondage of Esau and go right back up under the bondage of the woman. And shit, not only that, the bondage of these Pharisees, you know, serving men, which is a whole other day we gonna get on, but you know, that's another thing plaguing our brother's mind.
Hey, but sister asked the question, Sister Jael asked the question, said, outside of the sisters in your house, do you have a lot of female friends, or are you satisfied with the bond that you have at home?
Female friends. Nah, cause I don't. My thing is, if I'm dealing with a sister, I find a righteous sister that's ready to keep the laws. First thing I do is holler at one of the brothers. You know, make sure one of the brothers, you know, could holler, you know, give it a chance for them to speak to him before I, you know, just down and, you know, see what's going on. I'm situated. I can't sit here and try to take every single female on to myself. I mean, that just don't make no sense, and that's wrong. That's wicked.
Right.
So I mean,
right.
The first thing
this is about nation. That's why you brothers and sisters, y'all better pay attention. This is about nation building. This ain't about these brothers that are scared of their wives. They would have you think that this is about whoremongering. Nah, they just trying to be whoremongering. That's what's behind it, whoremongering. Man, that's not it. You saying that if that's the case, that's what your forefathers too. That's what you're saying about your foremothers. And it's a shame. You brothers and sisters that think like that, y'all in the way. Just delete yourself right now and get out of the way, because I'm trying to keep this thing focused.
So, but yeah, to answer that question, nah, I don't have any females that's outside the truth. I don't deal with I don't agree with the lifestyle of sisters without a Lord. I don't agree with that. They just all out there busybodies running from house to house, speaking things they ought not.
Right.
So I'm not with that. But,
right.
You had another question? I see one question. Oh, that was the one, I guess.
I'm surprised the question should be flooding in right now. Sisters, I know some of y'all sisters on here don't quite agree. Y'all don't quite see it. Ask the questions. Here goes somebody who has experience in it. How long have you been in a relationship with more than one wife?
Hold on, I couldn't even hear you. You broke up.
How long you been in a relationship like that? The relationship according to the Bible?
4 years I had all four of them. Okay. For about 4 years now. Almost 4. Now one of them I had for 3, matter of fact. The youngest.
Experience. Where your sisters at? Ask the questions. See, a lot of times what's going to happen is the sisters that don't agree, that are sitting here watching right now, they don't want to ask the question because they don't want it to be answered. They don't want they want to hold on to that thing so they can do it later on. They don't want
they want to keep thinking it's wicked. They don't want to let go. They don't want it to feel better. They don't want it to be no sisters that's okay with it. You know what I'm saying? They want it to be an issue at all times.
Oh, okay. The sister said the question was for your wives. Outside of your house sisters, do you have a lot of female friends?
My bad. I don't know what the hell I was doing. They got a question for you. It's my wife, Liv. She just had my little girl.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy about that. So the question was, do you have any friends outside? And I just told them, you know, I ain't prepared them for nothing on video, none of that. I just said answer the questions honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it real. We not about no show over here, man. But the question was, let's see. Also, how did all your family? Now, I guess that was the second question. Could say also. Okay. Say, outside of your house, sisters, do you have a lot of female friends? And are you satisfied with the bond satisfied with your bond at home. No, it said, do you have a lot of female friends, or are you satisfied with the bond at home? That's the question.
In other words, does she go outside companionship, or is she cool with the sisters that she has in the house and they straight?
It's like two questions.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
before I came to the truth, I didn't have really a lot of friends. I had one best friend, and I told her about the truth, and she came into the truth willingly, and she got herself a king because she knew it was right. And I go to her to some things, but I know most of the things I do have to keep it within my household, just to be discreet. And they would people wouldn't understand the issues if there is issues, or you have to keep it within your own sisters, because they're the ones that can understand better than anybody else.
That's right. I mean, that's huge. Understanding that the people outside is just gonna cause havoc. They're not gonna go by the same laws inside the house. So asking for somebody's opinion outside the house is like asking the courthouse for opinions on the Bible.
Right. Right. The only opinion that really matters is the opinion of your Lord.
That's right. That's right. So what was the other question? What is best time you spend together? What is the best time you spend together as wives? What is the best time you spend together as wives?
We do a lot of stuff. It's like if you have girlfriends and sisters, you go shopping together, you get your nails done, y'all run the errands, cook, clean, like you would do with your sisters. It's not anything.
Yeah.
There you go.
All praises. It ain't no competition. Let me ask a question. Is it competition inside the house? Are y'all competing against each other? Y'all jealous of each other?
Not at all. I don't feel that way. I feel like, because when I came into the truth, I understood that I needed the Lord. I couldn't have Christ as my head, and He already had servants. I knew there was other women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard that part. I seen it kind of.
Say that last part again. It kind of froze up.
Say that last part again.
I didn't feel that way because He had servants before I came into the truth. So I knew that He had other servants, and I just knew that I needed a man. And
cool.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, that's another thing. And that second or third wife, it's gonna be a lot easier on her than that first wife. The first wife dealing with those emotions of having you to herself for so long, and sometimes brothers do gotta leave that first wife. It's unfortunate sometimes, but like I was telling you before, I ended up doing that. And I my wife back, and all praises for that. But everybody not able to do that, and I didn't leave thinking, okay, well I'll get her back later. I didn't care what she said or what she felt, because I knew the Lord felt different. So
now that right there is an example of what me and Masharathyah have been teaching about. If she won't go the way that you have her, get out then. You leave, get away. And guess what? If she's a spiritual woman, she'll come back and reconcile with her husband, like the scriptures say. She'll come back and reconcile. And that's what happened to you, correct?
Right, that's exactly what happened.
That's the word being acted out right there. So people act like this is strange. A lot of y'all read the Bible and look at it as a fairy tale, like it really can't work like that. We're going to important to have these brothers come on as examples, these sisters come on and give testimony, because it does work. You just ain't got the faith to make it work. You ain't got the faith to stand on God's word. That's why it ain't working with you, because you ain't giving God's word. That's why it ain't working with you, because you don't believe. And you just wait for the fire to come. That's all it is. Most of y'all just waiting for the fire to come and consume you.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, brothers got to stand up, man. Brothers keep being weak, the house going to be weak. It's the leader weak, whole house weak. Sister want a weak leader? Okay. Here you go, a whole house weak. Son going to be weak too. Enjoy.
Now,
it's not going to do nothing for you.
I seen a brother said, if it's about nation building, why have a Gentile wife? Sorry, I may have missed parts.
First of all, I didn't say it was about nation building. I'm not throwing no excuses on why anything going. This is life. This normal. Right? This ain't no I'm not trying to give you an excuse on why it's happening. No, I don't have to give you an excuse. I'm a man. This is what I desire. This is my household. So y'all either gonna deal with it or y'all not gonna deal with us. It's just that simple. But as far as a Gentile woman, I mean, I could throw 1,000 scriptures at you right now, but I mean, you already know. We just went through Deuteronomy 21. Shalom, princess. Huh? Yeah.
Hey, and I wanna tell y'all something real talk for that comment. What was it about nation building when Boaz took Ruth and then had his lineage? And Christ came out
Hold on, Sarah.
nation building there. The son that comes out of his marriage, that's and I'm right now I'm not defending or going with or against anything in this case, but the seed that comes out of him is still going to be Israel, right? Wouldn't it still build the nation? So be careful what you say, because the whole book for the whole book, all the book and nothing but the book, for sure.
Boy. They just don't know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's clearly telling you over and over what's going down. So one of my other wives just got home, and I'm going to let her answer the next question. Her name is Sarah. So
Shalom.
she going to answer the next. Brother say shalom.
Shalom.
So what was the next question?
Yeah, I know, right? What was the next question? Any other questions? Now's your chance, brothers. Get questions. Ask the questions. Hey, Moshe, you about to come on. I'm about to pull you in, brother. So I pray you got I pray you got prepared, because I'm about to pull you in. This question is for you, Apollo. Apollo, this is was it hard at first having multiple wives?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because of the fact that you got to deal with more than one personality, and you have to be loyal to these personalities. You know, they got to trust you. That's the only way that they can do it. So, being transparent is a good thing, man. Just do everything you can to be 100% honest, and don't sit there and try to curve the way you feel or the things you say for any woman's feelings. If you do that, that's when you start, causing problems for yourself, because now you're leaning towards one and then, causing problems with the other ones. So you got to be, like the scriptures say, masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal. We really got to be able to put that into play. Even though a lot of that is speaking on actual servants, heathen servants that we would have, our sisters also would fall in that. So we still have to give unto them that's just and equal, and that's the main thing, is them, making sure that they understand that you love them equally, and not them, looking at each other in a vengeful way, a jealous way. And the thing about competition is, I'm gonna say it's somewhat of a competition, but it's not. It's almost like helpful competition. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you have that there to go off of. You have another sister there that you could bounce ideas off of. Stuff like that. It's not really a evil competition or a bad competition, but y'all can make it a bad competition. Y'all can make it a problem by not looking at each other as each other's help, not helping each other. So that's when it can turn into competition, jealousy. You know what I'm saying? But it don't have to be. But what was the next question?
I'm gonna say this real quick. For the sister, what is her name? Micah, I'm gonna say this. Exodus 21:10. You can read that. It tells you about multiple wives. Deuteronomy 22 and 15, 15 and 16. You can read that. It tells you about taking more than one wife. And there's many other scriptures also, but there's two. I ain't gonna go through all of them. We got classes on it. We've been doing them for the last week and a half.
Straight up.
Next question, it says, how you deal with what do you do as far as paperwork?
Paperwork. So 1 Corinthians 6:1. Let's grab that. Is it 6 Timothy 6? I think it's Corinthians, yeah. 1 Corinthians 6:1.
1 Corinthians 6:1. It says, I dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints. So
the law we're talking about is the courthouse. You say you going to the law for the unjust and not before the saints. Now,
hey, right there. Thank you for that. I'm telling you, I read that over and over again, and right now, that's what I say, iron sharpening iron. Why we got to go to the unjust for the law? When we got
Mm-hmm.
right here that tells us what to do, why we got to go to them? That's what you brothers talking about the marriage license. Because I was going through it just the other day. A brother that I trusted and I thought we was cool, did a whole thing about marriage license and breaking news and try to make a joke about it and whatever. Like me and Mosh was off. Like, why you got to go to the unjust when God said you can do it? You got to go to unjust to ask permission to take a wife.
Well, a big issue is these are slaves. The heathen are slaves, man. You look crazy going to a slave to ask for your permission for your wife's papers. These are real live slaves. I don't care what y'all think they are. These are slaves to God. So we look crazy as kings going to slaves to ask for some paperwork for our wife. You know, and if that was lawful, that's what we had to do. We would have been doing it back in the day. You know, you never see in the scriptures where we went to the heathen to make our wives our wives. You know,
Hey,
that just happened.
this is for you brothers that listen to that one brother that was talking that mess and making all them jokes. Watch this. This is verse 2, 1 Corinthians 6 and 2. It says, do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world is judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Like, you gonna
Straight
judge
up.
telling me you gotta go to them to get married? Now one might say, well, we gotta serve them at one of all things. Yeah, that was a punishment for us to breaking the commandments. But when we bethink ourselves and come back to the commandments, we should expect the blessings and our heritage to come back too. We take it back. Y'all just live in the curses. Everybody, that's what everybody live in the curses, what are you saying? If you ain't keeping no commandments? Because the law says if you keep the commandments, you're gonna live the blessings. And
Right.
you well. But if you break the commandments, you're gonna have to go to your enemies for all things. So which one?
Right.
What are you doing? I'm telling
Thing
you,
is, they got.
lesson. Them brothers are agents. I'm gonna give you that, Apollo. These
They
brothers,
are.
they leading us to the devil. That's what they doing.
You got brothers saying that you have to get a marriage license. It's incredible that a brother would even want to get a marriage license of what these people call a marriage today. If we read these marriage certificates, this is not what God is describing as a marriage in the Bible. There's no such thing as equality, no such thing as a partnership, relationship. This is your servant. This is your possession. They want to rewrite what the Bible say a woman is and create her to make her be something else. It's not going to change what she is. That's just going to make her a sinful woman. It's not going to change, the truth.
Right.
So I wouldn't want. I mean, you signing a piece of paper with a definition that's not the wife of the definition of a wife in the Bible. That's a problem. So you're actually signing false paperwork. She's supposed to serve and obey you in all things.
Nope.
So therefore, this is not valid paperwork that you're trying to get brothers to sign. And you wicked as hell trying to force brothers to do it. And the only reason they're doing it is because they're able to control the brother better by having a sister being in control of the brother, because they can control the sister. So they, doing the same trick the devil did, trying to control the man by going to Eve. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. If you can get the brothers to lock up on that paperwork through society, now the sister got him. He can't go nowhere. He done. It's exactly. And when the sister got him, that means IUIC got him, because IUIC is behind the sisters. They not behind the brothers. They not trying to raise up the brothers, because that's what the government don't want. That's why every time you see on the suggestion list, you see IUIC videos for everybody. Somebody came up to the camp yesterday talking about, oh yeah, we seen a video, no, not yesterday, last week. So we seen some Israelite videos, some purple people. It's like, how you find out the video? Oh, it's in my suggested list. Everybody says in their suggested list is because the government is trying to funnel everybody to IUIC. This is happening because that's the only way to keep the brothers down. You put them back in another bondage. Okay, they waking up. Let's put them over here and put them back to sleep. And brothers see the glitz and glams, the lights, the camera, and it's action. Exactly. It's super toy soldiers. Super toy soldiers, man. Like it's amazing. Brothers forget about all manner of righteousness, all manner of being a man, period. There before the congregation allow a man to just slander you, talk down to you. Man, these men are clown a man in front of his own wife. How you expect this man to go home and rule his household now? You didn't just clown this man in front of his whole household.
And then watch this. And then the wife will sit back and be, when Nathaniel said, I know brothers right now that decided, you know what, this ain't for me, and left. And their wife said, bye, nigga, I'm staying here with Nathaniel and them. Like, what? I know brothers.
That's the plan.
Their wife stayed, and then the deacons and bishops told this Negro the only way to come back and have his wife back is to apologize openly to Kanai, apologize to IUIC. As did it, brother, right now. He did it. I'm like, what?
I'm straight, man. If she could turn sides like that, I don't need her. She ain't for me. You know what I'm saying?
She would have to stay unmarried her whole life. I would call her
straight
like,
up.
say hello to your sister wife. Yeah,
straight up.
You can't come home unless you growl.
Straight up to die.
Hey, but hey, brother, I gotta let you go. I got this other brother. I don't want to make him wait.
Hold on, let me get one more. I just wanted to let her answer the other question because I brought her in her. What was the other question?
Okay.
It was one more question, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, I done lost it.
Awesome.
Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it's at.
Well, it's all good. We can get it next time then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can get it next time. Well, I want to have you on again or whatever. We'll take because I'm gonna be doing. Me and Masharathyah gonna be doing these classes right here probably for the next month. This is one of the months. Forget, I ain't gonna say forget, but 1 in the morning, baptism, all those things that we've been bringing out. You know what I'm saying? This topic right here, this is one of those topics that has been destroying us as a people.
That's right.
We ain't gonna agree on doctrines or whatever. One thing we should definitely agree on, brothers, is that we in control. We are the Lord's over the house. We are the ones that Most High entrusted with His faith. We are the ones that's got to take control. That's what, and until we do that, we ain't never gonna really rise up. We can put on purple and march around and talk about our beards and used to go to the club and all that little junk. That stuff don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Still laughing at us. A lot of these brothers in that congregation that I'm talking about that preach this nonsense, I know personally, they get smacked upside the head with food. They wives smacked them with food. They wives is messing with heathen men. You know what I'm saying? This is going on. It's ridiculous. And they'll portray it to y'all like, yeah, we are the vanguard of Israel. The new yeah, get the hell out of here. You might want to hear that. So this topic's gonna be going for a minute.
Yeah, it needs to be. It should have been going a long time ago. It should be going consistently because it's the #1 problem in the nation is the house.
Absolutely.
But we scared to talk about this because it offends sisters. And in America, you do not offend a woman. You know what I'm saying? Everything is confused, but this is it's about not offending a man, not offending a woman, man. And the men of the Lord know it's about these scriptures. We don't get offended by the scriptures. If the scripture says righteous, it's righteous.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? We can't change it. That's just what it says. But you know, I'm glad I got a chance to come on. I had a couple more scriptures, but I ain't gonna hold it up. I already know.
I get you back. Don't worry. It ain't over.
For sure.
The Lord spare my life. Pray for me, y'all. The Lord spare
For
my
sure.
life. We're gonna keep on drilling this topic in. All right.
Lord willing, brother.
All right, brother. Hey, I appreciate you. I love you, brother. I'll get back at you a little bit later. All right.
Love you too, brother. Y'all have a good one. Shalom.
All right, shalom. All right, there you have it. All right, my brother Moshe, I'm about to pull you on or whatever. Moshe said he's gonna allow his wives to come on camera and whatnot and speak. So all praises to the Most High for that. To give y'all some more examples, give you an example of what it looks like, how the house is running, all of that. If y'all got questions about, if you brothers and sisters have questions about anything, Moshe said it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So if it's about sex, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? All of that. If you ask the questions, because these are the things that y'all gonna say after class go out. So don't be scared. Can't nobody see your face anyway. Just ask the question. So Moshe, let me see if I can pull you in real quick. Where you at? Judah Moshe. There you go. All right, brother. Bing. Let's see if we can get you in here. Yeah. Hey, hats off, shout out, all praises to the Most High for my brother Apollo. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for coming on here.
Yo, shalom. Let me turn it around. Hold on.
There we go. Can you? There we go. That's what we got going here. Yeah. Hey, I gotta. You don't. Would you? Oh, hey, bro. I need to put something on so I can prop this up. Hold on. All right. Give me some second. Yeah, I sure do got that thing. Hold on. Oh, hallelujah. Can you hear me? I can hear you. But the thing is, you got an echo. Every time there's an echo. All right. Hold on. Let me see. So like if you got some. Or something like that. You said if I got what now? You got your headphones? Headphones? What do I got some headphones? Yeah. You don't drew me away from the headphones, talking about some brain cancer. Hey, let me go get it. Hey, but hold up. We might be able to do. Nah, we ain't gonna. Because this year. Yeah, because this year. Need some headphones. Okay, go and get some headphones. Hold on, 1 second. Hold on. All right. Let me get them brain cancer cords. 1 second, bro. You got it? Okay. So I guess y'all can pull it up on your sister phone while we so y'all can hear it. Cause y'all won't be able to hear it. Cause I have the headphones, of course. Put it up on your phone. And then when we got the headphones, you know, Brew can hear me. I'm about to get my put them headphones. No. I'll be right back. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see right there. Yeah. So we're gonna have to listen to it on YouTube? No. It's on the Android. We're gonna listen to it on. Well, we can listen to it on your phone. Yeah, I don't have to play it. Okay. All right. What is it? Here, I got it. Look in the morning. Leave me alone. Let's see. Come on, son. Don't be playing now. Okay, here we go. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for coming on here. All right. It's the land. All right, we good? Come on, son. Don't be playing now. Yeah. That's much. Can you hear me? Much better. That's much better? Yes, sir. All right. So I got the cancer things in now. All right, we pray for you. Don't worry about it. Hey, introduce yourself, brother, and just tell your story. Shalom, Judah Moshe ben Israel, aka Judah the Shooter. Shalom, everybody. I've been polygynist for a while, you know what I'm saying, about 2011. And so I'm ready to get to it. I'm ready, you know what I'm saying, ready for the courses, ready, you know what I'm saying. Any questions anybody got? You know, we ready. My queen's here present. Say shalom. Shalom. Then this is my queen Macc, that's shalom. Shalom. Can you hear? Yeah, so they sitting right here. Anything anybody got, y'all done brought out pretty, you know, all the precepts. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Right. All right, so I ask some questions because people are kind of squeamish right now. They kind of scary. I can tell by the lack of questions for my brother Apollos. Hold on, wait. Before we do, can y'all hear? Y'all hear real good on y'all? This what? Yeah. Here. All right. So, they can hear it, but it's the questions is delayed. Right, I can hear it. I can hear it in the background a little bit. It's a little delayed. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know, it might be a little slow. I mean, hey, we're gonna get it how it is. So okay, that's cool. All right. With it. Now I asked the question. This is a big question because the thing with sisters and some of these brothers with their mind, because their mind is corrupt, they'll say that more than one wife are living in a polygamy type situation is because you're a whoremonger and you just want to lay with a bunch of women at the same time. All right. Oh, go. What do you say to that? All right. Well, first thing I want to say, first and foremost, I'm not a polygamist. I'm a polygynist. There's a difference. There's a difference between polygamy and then you have polygyny. Polygamy comes from two Greek words, palus,
which means many, and then the word gume, which means lover or spouses. Now, for those of you all who go into the language, I do deal with the Greek and the Hebrew language. When you read Matthew 27 and 55, you'll see the word many women. That's the word palus, and then the word gune or une. That means women or wives. So dealing with polygamy, I'm not even a polygamist. So in polygyny, polygyny only is the practice of a man having more than one wife or a concubine. So when we're saying we're polygamists, we're saying that we have more than one lover, and that's not that. Basically, that's giving the avenue for both parties to have more than one spouse, which is polygamy is illegal. But I'm polygynist. But dealing with that, if they're saying that having more than one, a man having more than one wife is whoremongering, then how do you explain Exodus the 2nd chapter and Numbers the 12th chapter? Moses had 2 wives and he was given the law. Genesis 26 and 5, when we read that Abraham kept the law, statutes, and commandments. Isaiah 41 and 8 say he was the friend of God and he had more than one woman. So dealing with scripturally, a man having more than one wife, there's no scripture to support that proof of claim. Biblically speaking, there is no scripture to say that a man is a whoremonger for having more than one wife, which is his God-giving right.
Right.
I'll give an example. Let me grab what my script is. Grab some.
Y'all know we're gonna go into the word. Y'all know we
into
the word.
You already know.
Y'all be acting like we pulled this out of our butt. You know what I'm saying? This is the word of God. Yeah, that's why I love it. Bring it out.
That's right. All right, okay, 2nd Chronicles. We're going to go 2nd Chronicles chapter 11. And we're going to read verse 17 to 23.
2nd Chronicles chapter 11, verse 6. Just like Masharathyah, boy. Y'all be having me read all dang on day. All right. 17 to 23. Okay. 2nd Chronicles 11 and 17. So they strengthened the kingdom of Judah and made Rehoboam the son of Solomon strong. 3 years. For 3 years they walked in the way of David and Solomon. And Rehoboam took him Masharathyah, the daughter of Jeramah, the son of David, to wife. And
all right. So far we had one wife, right? Let's keep reading. And who else?
And Abigail, the daughter of Eliab, the son of Jesse.
So that's 2 wives, right? Come on.
Which bear him children, Jeush and Shamariah, and Zahan. And after he took Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, which bear him Abijah, and Zerah, and Sheolomoth.
Now, so far we had 3 wives, right?
Absolutely.
Now watch this. Keep reading.
And Rehoboam loved Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and his concubines.
So he loved one woman more than the other. It said he loved her above what?
All his wives and concubines.
Now let's see how many women he had total. What'd he say?
But he took 18 wives and 60 concubines.
So hold on, wait a minute. So biblically speaking, that goes back to what you brother was talking about earlier when y'all was breaking down Deuteronomy 17 and 17. You know what I'm saying? So biblically speaking, we know that was talking about a king, but rabah means excessive. So dealing with this, it said he took 18 wives and 60 concubines. For those who don't know, a score is 20. But it said he took 60 concubines, that's 60. So 60 plus 18 is 78. That means he had 78 women. Let's see what else it say.
Verse 22, and Rehoboam made Abijah, the son of Micaiah, the chief, to be ruler among his brethren, for he thought to make him king.
Now that lets you know the love that he had for his wife, because he said he loved his mother above all of his wives and his concubines. He thought to make his son king. What else does it say?
And he dwelt wisely and dispersed all of his children throughout all the countries of Judah and Benjamin.
Go ahead.
And he gave them victuals in abundance, and he desired many wives.
Oh, he desired many wives. What they say, he lusted many wives. So here it is. This man right here desired many wives. Was he in transgression for that?
Absolutely not.
That was his preference. He desired it. Sometimes people, well, why do you want more? Because I desire it. No different from how some of our forefathers did. You see what I'm saying? But biblically speaking, there's no scripture to say that a man is a whoremonger because he's practicing something that is his God-given right.
They don't
At
because
all.
you know why they don't like that? Because
Why?
what if I want more than one husband? What if I want,
Okay, let's deal with
what if
that.
I'm trapped to everything that flies?
Look, we're gonna do. Let's go to Romans chapter 7 real quick. Romans chapter 7,
Romans chapter 7, and which one?
verse 2. We're gonna start in 2.
Romans chapter 7, verse 2. For
Here come your answer if you watching this and you asking the same question my brother Judah's asking. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know what it is, but just for the sake of the argument and edification.
Romans
Let's
7,
get it.
verse 2. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by law to her husband as long as he liveth.
Facts. So right there, letting you know that you bound to your husband so long as you live. What else?
But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
Come on.
So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man,
Here come your answer.
she shall be called an adulteress.
She shall be called an adulteress. That's why you can't. You'll be an adulteress. Go ahead.
We ain't equal, sisters.
At all.
And y'all hate this because you, and like I said it before in classes last week, you hate God. I'm talking to you, sister. You, sister, the one that's sitting back. That ain't fair. I don't believe in that. I ain't trying to hear that. They hate
Right.
me. Okay, you hate God because you want to be.
Absolutely.
You hate God. Period.
That's right.
This ain't for you.
Straight up.
Go join the Christian church and live your life out as a good Christian. Christmas and Thanksgiving is coming up. Get your shit together and get ready. Get your turkey and all that. Get your recipes together and tell your family you coming back into the fold because this ain't for you.
It ain't. Straight up. That's right. So that's the long story short to that. You know, hey, it's adultery. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let's get with Leviticus 20 and 10 right quick, too. Let's go at that real quick.
Gotcha. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10.
Let's get it.
And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
So that's key right there. It said, and the man that committed adultery with who?
Another man's wife.
Another man's wife. That's the one who's taken, the woman. It said, and the man that committed adultery with another man's wife. What else it say?
Even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife.
There it is again. Even he that committed adultery with who?
His neighbor's wife.
His neighbor's wife. What else?
The adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
That was a death sentence. That was a death sentence. Let's get one more. Deuteronomy 22 and 22.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 22.
Let's get it.
If a man be found laying with a woman married to an husband.
Now that's key right there. It said if a man be found. That means he got caught lying. Lying with who? Lying with who?
Another man's, hold up, with a woman married to an husband.
With a woman. But it said a woman that's what?
Married to an husband.
She's married to a husband. That's key there. A woman married to a husband. What else it say?
It says, then they shall both of them die.
That was a death sentence. Death sentence.
Hey, guess what?
So
sisters, if the woman ain't married, then it's the man's duty to take him as her wife, as his wife.
Ooh.
If she's not married and he lays with her and he's found out, even if you ain't found out, because God's looking at you, it's your duty to take her and bring her home. That is your wife now. Otherwise, you are in sin. You are a whoremonger. You are a fornicator. You are in sin. If she's married though, your ass is an adulterer, and you're gonna get the judgment of an adulterer.
that's right. Bring it out. So yeah, what's the next question?
Now hold up. This is the question though, because you brothers, boy, I'm telling you, y'all be in the Bible. Golly. Hey, the question was, when dealing with sexual relations with your wives, How does that work? Paint the picture of how that works. Give them the
That's
and then
yeah.
go ahead.
That's easy work. Well, one, all of my wives live in my house under my roof. So dealing with that is no different from, hypothetically speaking, you brothers when you was in the world, you had more than one woman. How was you dealing with them then? It worked itself out. So dealing with coming into righteousness in our household, appointment day 2 o'clock today.
Hold up. You're breaking up. You froze up a little bit. Let's wait for the signal to come back. You kind of froze on my screen.
Okay.
I don't know. Nah, it still look bad. Hold on. Look like you're trying to come back. You got doodle net. It's doodle internet. You got. So dealing with you on Boost Mobile? Coming into righteousness and our
No. I got a cricket. Good old cricket.
Yeah. I rock cricket. I rock cricket before. So how does it work out? Go ahead.
All right. You can hear me good now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, it works itself out. It's not something that's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Just like as we know, polygyny isn't for everyone. So when dealing with polygyny, it's a lifestyle. You know, so it works itself out. It's not like we set an appointment. It happens when it happens. You know, Wednesday's your day, Tuesday's her day, and you know what I'm saying? It works itself out.
Okay. Y'all ain't all sleeping in the same bed having a big menage.
No. Hey, look, you want them to answer that question?
Absolutely.
All right, look, hey, he's gonna answer y'all the question because I got the headphones on real quick. Go ahead, bro, ask the question. Well, let me take the headphones off and then ask y'all a question. Y'all can. Hold on, bro. If y'all can hear it, y'all scoot on in, man. All right. There we go. Here, scoot on. Hold on 1 second, bro.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
No, we can't see us all. Oh, yeah, set it right there. Single ad, we working together.
Oh, crazy.
You can't see me. It's all good. Go ahead.
So when it comes to having sexual relationship, y'all all in.
I didn't catch the question.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you, bro.
Are y'all all in the same room? Having sex?
Oh, definitely not. That goes against, the scriptures. Thou shalt not lay with mankind as with womankind, and we not no lesbians. Ain't nothing going on like that. It's simply me serving my king, she's serving her king. We coming together to serve him. So we all have our own rooms. We all have our own privacy. Whatever you do in your own room is what you do, but none of that is going on.
All praise.
So no.
All praise.
Scoot in, baby, because y'all a little far away. Yeah.
Now, when it comes to that, say he's with one of y'all. Is the other one in the other room jealous as hell?
No, because if she is, that's something that she got to check within her spirit. Because when you read, was it Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 8?
No, verse 4 through 6.
4 through 6 about a jealous woman. We aren't supposed to be jealous of our sister. So, and then at the end of the day, if you are getting that time with that king, why wouldn't you want to see your sister do the same thing? So,
wow, yeah.
So no, we're not over here jealous. Actually, happy with living with one another. So.
Okay. The sister.
Minutes.
All right, this is the question. Sister Jael says, since having more wives, how did it help financially?
Ooh.
Oh man.
It helped a lot.
Yeah.
From me, me living. We've been living together for a year.
A little over a year now.
Yeah, been a little over a year. And I just had my son, 2 years ago. So, him, having multiple women, he's trying to help multiple households. And sometimes, that sister may not get any help. So she's stuck taking care of finances on her own. So all of us coming together with multiple vehicles, multiple jobs, different kind of, different little resources, and we come together, that helps out a lot. I no longer have one vehicle. We have 3-4 vehicles.
Yeah.
We have 4 vehicles, and so it helped out a lot financially. It was a big difference.
Right, and then it's even better too, because instead of me like if she paying bills at her house, she paying bills at her house, and I got one over here contributing to all the households, when everybody can just come together. No different from in Acts 4 and Acts 2, when the believers had all things common, bringing everything together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's definitely a lot of economic power, especially when everybody has the same mindset. The man is being righteous, and he's submitting to his Lord, his husband, and then the wives are doing the same thing, having a wife after your own mind. It becomes a lot more easier on all levels when everybody is in order, when everybody is in subjection. It's a whole lot more easier.
Right.
A whole lot more easier.
Okay.
So go ahead, Ken.
Here's another question. How does it work in regard to the chore? Cooking and all.
Yeah. We should go get the board.
Yeah, go get the board.
Go get the board. Hey, we're going to show you better than we can tell you. Hold on 1 second. We're going to go get the board real quick. Hurry up, go get the board real quick. It's a board that they actually have. Matter of fact, y'all can kind of explain real quick why he's going to get the board or whatnot.
Okay, so we have a chore, a board down in the kitchen with all the chores. So we got, of course we have to provide for our king. So we have that the house of Judah, he likes smoothies and little simple things, salads and stuff like that. So we come together and get those things going.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the chore list, So this is our king. So we got the house of Judah. We take care of that. And then also we got our son. He takes care of the trash. And he has our front living room area. He cleans that room, and then our daughter, she cleans the living room. And then we go a different week. Starting on Sundays. The sisters, one sister cook. The second week, another sister cook. The third week, another sister cook. So that's how we do the chores. Bathrooms, that if that sister's not doing the cooking, upstairs bathroom, or the other sister has a downstairs bathroom, and so that's how the chores work.
And real quick, I also want to chime in and just show just the mindset that my wife has. This is something that she has right here. Just things that she reflects on daily. Be a better servant to the Most High. Be a better wife to my Lord. That's what she has here. I didn't tell her to write this. She wrote this on her own. It says, be a righteous woman of the Most High, no gossiper or talebearer.
Wow.
Have humility, no procrastinating. Forgive others, pray for others. Train my children up in righteousness. Number 10, walk always in the fruit of the Spirit, love. Now think about it. How can one be walking in the fruit of the Spirit of love if they jealous over the other sister? How can they be walking in the fruits of the Spirit if they envy their other sister? You know what I'm saying? Then right here, be a light to others. Gain souls for the kingdom. That's major. Gain souls for the kingdom. Be slow to anger. Stay focused. Kingdom is at hand. And then down here at 15, it says endure. Endure. We got to constantly endure. You know what I'm saying? So just showing right there, that's something that she had right there. I didn't tell her to write that. That's her mindset. So you get to see where her mindset is when the cameras ain't rolling. When it ain't lights, camera, action. Mindset is right here. Right there. That's right there. She wrote that down. You know what I'm saying? So that just kind of I'm glad you asked that question, because it actually led to something that she has, and it says things to reflect on daily. She didn't just write. When did you write this? How long have they been up there?
Since like
Okay, yeah. So basically a year.
All praise.
Basically, all praise. Yeah. I'm trying to get us all on here. I wish this thing was bigger.
You want my phone?
Huh?
You want my phone?
Okay, we got any other
Okay,
questions?
we got it.
And while
Hey,
he
I
doing
think,
that, y'all.
Hey,
I think your family,
Yep.
I think your family.
Huh?
your family's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Hebrew. All praises, absolutely. Now, do y'all want to say something to the sisters? Anything like that? Maybe to a sister that's watching, maybe to a sister that might be thinking about it, maybe to a sister that's against it. Anything, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know, I'm putting y'all on the spot, but hey, you know, they so camera shy, so you know what I'm saying? They bashful, shamefaced, as the scripture says it's supposed to be. You know, don't be shy. Who ain't? Anything y'all want to share to them? You know, because like he said, there are people that they're more than likely watching, but they ain't saying nothing. You know, so what would y'all want to say to them? You know, to maybe, or in a sense, what would you want to say to, you know, any advice you want to give to a brother that is thinking about doing it, but he's a noodle bag. He's afraid to speak up, you know.
I would say I would go, go with it, regardless of, her feelings about it, because I don't know how long it's going to take for that woman to, get, in her mind of polygyny, because I guess I can give a short testimony. When my husband brought it to me back in like 2014, I remember him saying, he wanted to be polygynist, but I really didn't know too much about polygyny. We just got married, so I'm like, okay, I didn't really know about it. He did tell me about it, but long story short, he went ahead and did found another wife, and that kind of messed with my spirit. I got this spirit of bitterness and envy and all that stuff, because one, I didn't know anything about it, and then we've been conditioned to, of course, man and woman, so, and then I'm also one man and woman,
Right.
and I've been, so just been conditioned with that, and then just trying to just let my emotions, cloud my judgment, to the fact where I didn't even want to build a relationship with that sister, because my husband wanted another wife, and I thought of myself as being oh, he doesn't love me anymore, and he don't really love me, like I must not be good enough. He wants another wife, like that's something you never thought about, especially being in the Christian church. So still at the end of the day, he still was with that woman, and he still was with her, but still at the end of the day, I was still there. I still didn't go nowhere. So deep down, I still loved my king. That's just had to get over
Being in my
feelings about it. So, that kind of stopped me from building relationships with a few sisters at that time. So I finally, took the chance to actually get to know my sisters now that's in the household now. We actually built, a bond and a relationship, which, we actually built a bond and a relationship, and I actually let those feelings go, because at the end of the day, Titus 2 verses 3 through 5, I'm still supposed to be teaching them those things, how to be obedient and chaste and sober and all that. So just because you're sleeping with my husband and you're doing physical things, I'm still supposed to be feeding them spiritually at the end of the day. So once like I said, once I let those feelings go and emotions and embrace them, and we, I have a sister, growing up, I never really had a sister. And then we also, growing up as women, just being so feisty to one another and catty, and you don't want to build a relationship. Yeah, competition. You never want to see that sister grow, and we can grow together. And once we come together, we're building our king up, not just one person. So, and so it's been beautiful, just, not knowing these women, that they're my family.
They're your what?
My family.
My what?
They're my family.
Hey, your family. And you brothers stand up. Stop being weak, being a homo and effeminate. You gonna take another wife or concubines? Do it. Stop being so weak. You know, matter of fact, I want to read something real quick too. First Ezra the 4th chapter real quick. First Ezra 4 and verse 26, it say, yeah, there be many that have run out of their wits for women. You ever hear that saying? Oh man, she about to run me to my wits end. it say, and become servants for their sakes. So they become the servant to the wife for the sake of their feelings, and that's running them to their wits end.
That's you weak.
That's you weak.
That's you.
Yeah. That's you. Straight up, you straight come over like, so soon you get to talking about polygyny, hey, brothers get a little quiet, you know, they change up, they go from being this right to, you know, they cower down to their woman. They get a strength to a woman. You know what I'm saying? As Proverbs 31:3 say not to do. You know what I'm saying? So here it is, they get their whole strength. You see these brothers that be lions out in the street that men fear, but they are afraid of a woman. They're afraid of their woman. Then it say, verse 27, it says many, not some, not few, but it says many also have perished, died, destroyed. It say, and have erred. That means that they went off. They are in error. Then it say, and have sinned. They broken the law of the Most High for women. For women. Ooh-wee.
Hey,
Ooh-wee.
look.
Hey,
I got it. I'm gonna put your headphones.
Hold on. How do you introduce this to your wife? I just do it. I just do it. You know, more than likely in the future, yes, there will be more wives I will have. I ain't gonna tiptoe about it. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna let me hide my phone. None of that. I ain't gonna whisper about it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Hold on, you said put my headphones back on?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, let me get my headphones. Oh, y'all want to say anything else if I put these headphones on?
Oh, they had another question.
Go ahead.
You
got something else to say?
What's the hierarchy, if any? Yeah, there's definitely a hierarchy. You have the Most High, you have Christ, you have man, and you have woman. That's the hierarchy right there. That's the easiest way to answer that. Yeah, let me get right here in a minute. Yeah. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, so there's definitely a hierarchy. Let everything be done decency and in order. So yeah, there's definitely a hierarchy. And that's what the Most High got set up.
Oh,
All right, I got the headphones on.
all praises. All right.
Hey, what y'all laughing at? Hold on, I think they're laughing at some comment. Hold on, wait. How did the second wife deal with the bitterness of the first wife at the beginning? You mind we answer that real quick?
Yeah, now that you don't have to take the headphones out, they can speak because we hear them.
Okay.
You just ask them the question.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Go ahead, read the question, then y'all can answer.
Okay, so I'm gonna respond back to
Yes.
one of these.
Come on, bring your bitter self over here.
I think the question is, how did the second wife deal with the bitterness? Okay, still at the end, at the end of the day, regardless of my bitterness and everything, I didn't really let it, be shown to my sisters where they just know, they can see it on my face,
Right?
that I don't like you or whatever. But it's something that I had, closed doors that I had a problem with. That I had to get that bitterness out of my heart. So they didn't know. They didn't know about it.
All praises. All praises.
Which let you know she wasn't causing chaos in the house, nor disrespecting her husband. I ain't never heard that woman ever raise her voice. That woman has never, kind of like for those who are even, there are some people who subscribe to the book of Jubilees. When you look at Jubilees, the 36th chapter, 26 to 24, it tell you Leah said he never heard from her mouth a harsh word. Never.
Yeah,
Not one time.
I don't know where them sisters at. Them sisters is gone. You got
man.
diamond over there.
All praise to the Most High. I got a few sitting right here.
You got some diamonds.
my son Elijah, his mother's at work right now. I wish she could be here.
Hey,
Shout out to my queen Josiah.
But too, the sister was saying when she was speaking about the chores, she said our son and our daughter, meaning those all of them inside that house. Those children are in subjection to all of them inside that house. They are really raising a family together. Come on.
Absolutely. Straight up.
All praises.
All praise.
All right, brother. I'm about to wrap this class up because I gotta get ready for my next class. But if you don't,
oh yeah, you do. Yeah,
I'm gonna be constantly in contact with you because we're gonna put more classes like this together. I want to put some.
I'm with it.
To get more questions answered because there's more questions after this, and I want to reach out because I have one wife, so I'm gonna have you and your wives answer. Carlos and his wives answer.
Yeah, I'm with it, Hebrew. Hey, I'm there, and then it's kind of good for them too because they're really shy when it comes to the camera. I'm surprised that y'all got that. Y'all lucky. Like, man, I'm surprised y'all got that. Like, man, this is like a big step for the house of Judah. Because, man, like this one right here, she hates crowds. So she have a real live panic attack.
Hey,
I was worried. I'm like, man, I don't know how she gonna deal with the attention being on her. She hated it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good.
But at the same time, it's a blessing though because she's shamefaced. You know what I'm saying? She's shamefaced. You know, it's to be anyway. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. You breaking up a little bit, brother. I appreciate you, man.
No doubt. I just want to say, hey, shalom to everybody. Shalom to my Aki Yaki that's watching. You know what I'm saying? Anybody looking to get healed, he definitely is a healer. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to that brother. He can heal anything, whether if it's AIDS, cancer, diabetes, anything like that. He's actually watching. So he actually does natural herbs. Definitely reach out to that brother. He's definitely healing this nation. So if you know anybody that may be having, you know, any type of thing that's going on with them, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if they got lung cancer, breast cancer, whatever they got going on, man. Reach out to that brother Yaki. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he gonna get you together. He's right here in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying, with me, good brother of mine. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother Malachi Maccabee and everybody here in St. Louis.
All praises, all praises. Hey, post send me the link to the brother with the herbs and stuff because you know we on this health, and I want to group that we got going on.
Absolutely. And last but not least, he has testimonies, he got results, and he got proof of the things that he's been doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put nobody been up, but there's people who have had herpes and things like that have come forth and was saying, hey, you know, we heal, you can check them out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely reach out to that brother. He got results. I mean, like results, like proof.
I believe it. Hey, yeah. The herbs are for the healing of the nations. We don't even
come on now.
We go to Dr. freaking Frankenstein and get medicine.
Right. Sirach 38 chapter. You already know.
Right. All right, brother. Thank you. I love you, brother. I'll talk to you soon, Lord's will.
I love you too, brother. Indeed in the truth. Shalom.
Come on. There y'all have it. Masharathyah, are you still on here? Let me see if Masha's still on here. Real quick. Yep. Let me get my brother back on here. There y'all have it. Come on. Who gonna say something against it now? Who gonna naysay? This stuff is ridiculous. And now you heard sisters talking about them brothers. You heard sisters talking about, yeah, brothers is weak. You brothers is weak. We submitting to our husband as the Lord. The brothers that don't do it is because you're scared of your wife. Sisters are calling y'all out now, brothers. And you sisters that are sitting back, I saw some angry faces pop up. I'll deal with that later on. I know who you are. I'll deal with that later on. This ain't for you. Remove yourself, please. Block yourself. Unfriend me right now. Keep it moving. This ain't for you. This is for those that want to build their nation back up to our glory. You know what I'm saying? Because it's up to us to do it. Everybody waiting on Christ to come back and change you into something that you ain't never wanted to be. That ain't going to happen. You're going to die in America as an American. You're going to die right here as the same mind state of captivity that you in. You ain't going to the kingdom. The Most High ain't going to sprinkle no magic dust on you and translate you into the kingdom and turn you from the wicked bastard that you are right now into something righteous, and you don't want to do it right now. It ain't going to happen. Stop fooling yourself. Go back to the Christian church. It ain't going to happen. Go join IUIC because they'll deal with you, and you can keep that understanding. For you brothers that done left IUIC to be coming scoffing and whatnot, just go put your damn purple shirt back on and go back to your daddy and them.
Absolutely. That was beautiful, man. That's brothers like Apollos and Judah Moshe and their families and their wives and stuff. That's what we trying to go back to. That's what we trying to build. You can start communities with them, and we can rebuild with brothers like that. We can have, you know what I'm saying? You can have the lands and the farms and the animals and the children and so on, and the inheritance. We can have all that with them. Not no brothers that want to, you know what I'm saying, satisfy the wife and make sure she happy and she good and that happy wife, happy life and all that foolishness. You can't go far with that.
Watch this. I'm going to read something real quick. Let me find it. I'm saying, yeah, you brothers, you weak brothers, boy, it is what it is. Hold on.
That comment I sent to you last week, Jude. I want to read that.
What is it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Remember the one. Remember that comment. Okay, it's a little bit long, but I'll speed it up. So I watched this brother online, and it was somebody who commented on the class that he did, and they had to deal with multiple wives. So one of the comments is from this brother. It says, given that women and children are property of men, men should respect other men's property, just like they should respect the threshold of the other man's house and stop defiling women belonging to other men. That's one of the first things that we got to do, because, you know what I mean? Like we said, this is for nation building. So whenever you have another woman and children and all that, that belongs to another man, and that's his property. That's his family and his inheritance. The first thing that we got to do as men is change our mindset. Understanding that, yes, multiple wives is lawful, but it's a certain way that we go about it. And the first thing we got to do is respect each other as men. You never look at another man's wife and be lusting after her. That's wrong. There's plenty of sisters that you can start your own family.
Mm-hmm.
It says, let me see, men should only accept offers as an expression of her appreciation for the substance and security that he provides her. Because one of the things that we do, like he just read it, says many men go out of their wits out of their mind for women, and then you become servants to them. In order to reverse that, you reward her for the things that she's supposed to do. Because what do? We get into an argument with our wives, and then our wives know that what? If I give him some, that'll make him go right back into how I need him to be, and that's a servant to me. And that's not how we're supposed to do. It says anything less is an attempt by the woman to control and hold sway over the man. If she is successful, the man is a simp. Most men mistakenly get women to compete for their affection by being the best whore. Women today are accommodating the men nicely in today's society. Women use sex to get men to quickly forget the crimes she has committed against her man and her family. Multiple women in man's life ensures women will behave themselves when good behavior is the only thing that will ensure the substance and security her nature craves and her position in the quote. And that's pretty much the gist of it.
Right.
But that's what we're supposed to do. That's exactly how things are supposed to be done. And that's what we're trying to get back to. Exactly that.
Brothers, sisters, we ain't gonna stop on this topic, because this is how we're gonna getting our nation back in order is gonna start with the man taking control of his house, taking control of his wife, taking control of his children. What he says goes. It ain't no 50-50, it ain't no negotiations, all that. We've been negotiating all through captivity, and we ain't did nothing but got worse. You got men out here now, men don't even want to be men no more. They want to be girls. They're walking around in the tightest jeans, and men walking around with damn camel toes. Y'all don't see what's going on? It's time for y'all to stand up and take it back. You don't have to ask nobody for no permission. You are the king in your house. You are kings walking on earth. It's time to take it back. Stop listening to these weak men marching around and all that old junk with this show. This freaking show. It's a show. It's time for us to really let the rubber meet the road, and let's take action. Let's start peeling out. We'll leave these brothers in the rear view. These dragging sisters, we leave them in the rear view too. If y'all don't want to roll, then delete yourself, because it's a new day. We're doing something different. We're trying to take our place back. Then forget all that. We live in these curses. Scripture says if you keep the commandments, you ain't got to live no curses. He'll cause you in your captivity to be treated right by your enemies. In the land of your captivity, you'll be able to take your position back. In the land of your captivity. That's what's going to happen. And any of y'all that ain't with it, delete yourself. I seen them little mad faces or whatever. I'm about to end the video and go find out exactly who's doing that so I can block you. Get the hell on up out of here. This ain't for you. Stop looking in our window. We're here to take action. We're trying to raise up real men and trying to raise up submissive sisters to be able to be a pillar of rest to real men. Not to be no equal. Not to be no equal. And all you old sisters that got it in your mind, and I ain't doing that, leave. Stop watching. It's not for you. You are meddling in things that don't concern you because this truth is not for you. By your own confession and by your own actions, this truth is not for you. So go back to the Christian church, go to freaking Kroger's or Publix or whatever your local grocery store is and get that big ass turkey and get ready. You got a couple weeks, your holidays about to come back around. For everybody else, let's go. It's time to do work. I'm going to end it right there. I'm about to call you, Masharathyah.
All right, bro.
All right, shalom, y'all. Share the class. Share it with your weak brothers and your loudmouth sisters. Shalom.